Welcome into a Friday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, live here from the UDL on this special Friday edition. We open up here live with, in my opinion, the top player in the 2021 recruiting cycle here in the state of Louisiana. We mentioned it the other day. Walker Howard, the quarterback, and Madison Prep from right here in Baton Rouge has the number one defensive end in what I believe in the country, especially the state. Quincy Wiggins is live here with us, along with the head basketball coach for Madison Prep, wildly successful, 6-time state champion, and Madison Prep coming off. I missed one? 7. I missed one. That's my.
You better come fault. Correct, cuz
that's my fault. 7-time state champ, coach. How long has the school been open? Has the school been open 11 years? 12 years and 7 state champions in 12 years.
13 years.
And then first-time state champion in football last year, but had played for it a couple of years back.
2017.
And probably the odds-on favorite here with this guy and a very good team with Madison Prep. Quincy, thank you for joining us, man. It's good to see you.
Man, I'm glad to be here.
Yep. We had to get you back on after last time. I didn't know if we had you, the real thing. I didn't know if you had passed the phone off to one of your teammates because of all the interviews you had going on. What has this summer been like for you, man? I'd imagine that it was probably good to get back onto the football field last night.
Oh, yeah, it was real good. Over the summer, going to all these camps, working hard, getting better. I was more comfortable last night, but just a lot more I can do. A lot more I'm going to do to get better, get ready for next week.
Did you have a lot of questions answered for you this summer as far as your game goes, just kind of what type of player you went? You mentioned you felt more comfortable last night being on the football field. Did you kind of realize what type of player you were this summer with all the attention, all the camps, all the workouts?
Yeah, I'm an all-around player. I can play from the end to the tackle. I can play it all, so it makes it a lot easier for me to make plays.
Coach, you have seen a ton of prospects come through Madison Prep, whether it be on the basketball floor or on the football field. Have you ever seen a rise or an explosion like Quincy had over the last year, over the last 12 months?
The only other kid that kind of came from out of nowhere to big-time national recognition, probably Jarrell Martin.
Yeah.
Jarrell may have played just junior year was his first year playing high school ball on the Class B level. And after playing his junior year and doing the summer circuit, he came into his senior year ranked number 10 in the country and was a McDonald's All-American after 1 year. Quincy was similar, playing his junior year football, camps and all that, and, one of the top defensive ends and top defensive players in the country with a lot of big offers.
What has this summer been like for you? I'd imagine it would take a lot to wow you. You've seen it all. You've been to every college campus. You've had every coach come to your campus trying to recruit some of your players. What was this summer like for you in traveling with him and seeing the type of attention and just love that he was getting from not only the coaches and players, but like all the fan bases fell in love with him too?
The biggest thing that for me was just making sure Quincy got a chance to get out and see a lot of things. We tried to gather a lot of information, going looking at schools, him going to see, different campuses, listen to coaching philosophies, how they plan to use them, facilities, things like that. Just kind of try to let him gather as much information as possible so that, when the time comes, he can make a really good decision.
What was this summer like for you on that front? Like, what did you learn about college campuses, being outside of the state of Louisiana, or even being on LSU's campus, and what it would be like to be here locally? What did you learn about just kind of traveling and seeing everything?
I learned that, no matter where I go, the fans down here still support me. I learned how different schools, well, pretty much every school say they'll use me the same way. Well, at least in the top 5. I learned how they, it was a lot I had to learn. First visit to LSU, I didn't know anything about visits. I didn't know like that much. Well, I knew a lot about LSU already, but I didn't know about the facilities. I didn't know how they use me. I didn't know any of that. But you know, different schools introduced me to how their schemes in different ways. I go to Texas. They sat me down in a room. We watched film for about 30 minutes, and they showed me how I would fit into the scheme. And LSU with Coach Carter, they did the same thing. Ole Miss did the same thing. All those schools introduced it to me, you know, visually, because that's the best way for me to learn. It was a lot to learn over the summer as far as the recruiting process.
How are they going to use you? I mean, it seems like everybody's going to use you in the same way. What do they see you as, a stand-up defensive end?
Yeah, but they also see me as a tackle. They want me on the worst possible guy. So if that's the center, they're going to move me to tackle. If that's the right tackle, they're going to move me to end.
Right. I mean, is that just basketball, right, Coach Jones? I mean, find the mismatch,
Yep,
put him on the weakest link?
Yeah, find a mismatch. And then with his size, you know, Quincy's a natural playing weights between 270 and 275. And right now he's probably 272 or 274 right in there. So when you take into account getting to college, getting on a real meal plan, 3 square meals a day, plus, you know, food all during the day, a real diet, he'll probably, and strength program, he'll probably gain another 15 natural pounds. So his playing weight will probably be 285, 290, where you could play him in, you could play him inside, like guys like Calais Campbell, kind of like a Michael Brockers, you know, with a big DN, but, you know, played around 270, 280. So Brockers played everywhere from the end to nose to the 3 technique, and that's kind of how, you know, they'll use Quincy.
The testing right now, 6'7", 273, he's running 4.5 and jumping 35 plus. I mean, that's number 1 pick type stuff, right?
Oh,
yeah. Right, but I mean, just the testing numbers. I mean, the feedback on that is, I mean, that's a very elite level of athleticism. I don't think that, you know, just the normal person can roll out of bed and accomplish that type of stuff. When did you see that starting to happen? When did that really start to take shape?
Really, when around his sophomore year, when Quincy began to take football seriously. Once he began to take it seriously and take a real interest in it, he would go and train, and he was always, you know, around the house, around looking at videos of Chase Young and all other, you know, elite defensive ends, you know, kind of picking up as much information as he could. And, you know, then naturally you could see his measurables and 7'1", 7'2" wingspan and things like that.
Yeah.
Once he began to want to do it and put the work in, then it just kind of took off.
So if I ask you about a school name, would you just tell me like how you feel about it, what the positive, what the negative is, what the experience is? Are you ready to talk about that type of stuff? Do you have kind of I mean, it looks like you've had a great time everywhere you've been. You look like you look great and all the swag. We were having a debate. The Florida profile pick or the Texas profile pick is tough to go back and forth on because I think you look great in the Jays, but the burnt orange looks great on you. But the LSU gear stands out as well. When you think about this summer, tell me about what Alabama was like. What's the positive of Alabama? What was the conversations with Saban like?
Alabama, they take it real serious. Like, it's not a joke over there. You know, they everybody's the same as far as the uniform. The coach doesn't have to tell them to do this or that. They just already know how to do it. The same intensity. You know, talking to Nick Saban, he was keeping it real, telling me how to play, telling me that, you know, it's not a joke. That Alabama will be a place to put me in the best position to get to the league, and not only to the league, but be prepared for life after football. Alabama was just a great overall visit. I can't tell you it was anything bad over there.
Who's your lead recruiter at Alabama?
Pete Golden.
Yeah. you made news the other day when somebody posted something on social media saying that LSU was high in the confidence there, and Alabama could be second. Is Alabama one of the teams to beat for you? If you had a top 3 or 4, would they be in it?
Yeah, I'd say Alabama is one of the top schools.
What about Texas? Tell me about the trip to Texas. It looked like that was a very cool trip for you and Coach.
It was a good trip. I like Texas. That was my second time on the campus, but my first time really going through the facilities. Malcolm Roach took me and the basketball team through, like, the locker rooms and stuff. But that was like my freshman year, I believe, or my sophomore year. But overall to Texas, like, them telling me how to play, them also trying to make the move to the SEC, that stands out to me as well. And them I like the new head coach.
Yeah.
The new defensive staff, Coach Bo.
Yeah. Is that who's recruiting you from there? What about Florida?
I like Florida too. That was a good trip. I went with my defensive line coach at the time.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Coach Jones stayed back. It was better than I expected. That's why they wanted the top schools. As far as how they play, Coach Turner was the one who told me about putting me on the weakest man. Yeah, because I sat in his office and he told me how he uses dudes like Dexter and Princely and all those other guys you got.
Right. Maybe a surprising team in your top 5, but somebody I think that means a lot to you, Southern University.
Oh, man, Southern, it's right there. I practiced at Southern for the playoffs last year. I've been talking to the coaches for a while. They still keep in contact with me. Good connections. A couple of my coaches, my head coach went to Southern. Yep. Coach Jones went to Southern.
Absolutely.
A lot of my coaches went to Southern. Why not?
Sure. LSU?
No, at home. I got a good connection with Andre and Coach O. And the whole staff pretty much. They all text me, hit me up all the time. When the dead period's not on, they always want me to come over there. They always just show love.
How important is it to you to be at home?
Being at home would be pretty cool. I can stay home with Coach. Coach can make every game. Be close to my mom. Be close to family. So that'll be nice to stay home.
Who's leading the recruitment at LSU?
I say
everybody.
Yeah, that's tough.
It feels like when you talk to people up there, it feels like Mason Smith is texting you. It feels like Coach O is in contact with you. Andre Carter, Durant Jones. I think even Jake Peets has talked to you a little bit as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Will Wade.
Yeah, Will Wade seems to be the best recruiter on the campus for you. Was it tough giving up basketball?
A little bit, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel you could probably feel like from a personal, you could probably be a pro in both, huh? Do you feel that?
Yeah, I could have made basketball work. I just didn't have the patience, so I went to do something else so I can be good at.
How good was he as a basketball player, Coach?
He was. He wanted to be real good. He one trait he had. He's very competitive. Probably one of his downfalls in basketball. He wants to be so good to when he doesn't have success, he gets too hard, gets down on himself. But that's just him. He wants to be a perfectionist at everything he does. I run Louisiana Elite, which is on the Under Armour circuit. We play on the UA circuit as far as summer basketball. And Quincy actually played this summer with us. A lot of people didn't know that, but he played during the live period in Indianapolis, Atlanta, and Dallas. And, when he would get out there, all the college coaches were calling their defensive coaches at their college.
How do you use him on the hardwood? Is he a power forward?
Yeah, power forward. So he rebounds, he posts really strong, finishes well around the basket and above the rim, and is an enforcer. A lot of time when guys are dribbling and they see him under the goal on defense, they tend to shoot jumpers.
Back that thing out.
Yeah,
Curly Neal.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, instead of going to challenge him.
I guess maybe one of the great things in recruiting that will come this season will be you getting that ultimate fifth star, which feels like that should have happened a long time ago. How important is that to you? Is it important to you to be a 5-star? I mean, it feels like you check every box when people watch you play, but does it officially mean anything to you? Because it seems like that'll probably happen after your first game.
Yeah, it'll mean a lot. You know, I'll be the second fifth star to come through Madison Prep. You know, that'll make us look even better. Yeah. It'll make me look good, you know. I got people in my hometown, Assumption Parish, who look up to me and always keep up with me. Every time I go down there, just a random dude come up to me and talks his mouth off about football. You know, it's not even just down there, it's everywhere. Yeah. You know, all the little middle schoolers and all the freshmen in my school look up to me. So it's like, if I get that one, you know. Yeah.
Do you feel the pressure on that?
No, I don't feel pressure.
Do you invite that? Do you want that? You want more of it as you grow up?
Yeah. Most definitely.
Absolutely. Did I leave any school out in asking you any school that has made an impact? It seems like Texas, Florida, Alabama, LSU, and Southern have made an impact on you. Is there any school that I left out or any individual out there that I've left out that has recruited you? Who?
I've been talking to USC and Oregon.
Really?
Yeah, I talked to them a lot. Coach Soto and, you know, the coaches at Oregon. Talk to them all the time. You know, I just haven't had a chance to go see those schools.
Yeah. I know at Madison Prep they put a lot of attention on academics. I think you know, athletics brings that school a lot of attention, but once you really dig in, it's really built around its curriculum. What's your schedule like daily as far as academics and athletics go? How do you kind of balance this, being that this year is probably going to be wild for you, as much attention as you're going to get?
I want to go to school, do my work, do all my homework in class. After school, go straight to practice. Do what I got to do at practice. Well, my day's pretty easy. Huh? Yeah, my day's easy.
When do you want to wrap this thing up? Not this interview, the recruiting.
Maybe December.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you going to be an early enrollee?
I plan to.
Yeah. I appreciate y'all coming by here, man. I know that you guys are in school. And how was last night? You had your first time on the field. I know y'all weren't wrapping up and tackling and going through the entire process, but you got on the field against another team in Jesuit. What was it like to get back out there and just play football?
It was a good little warm-up to, you know, get to figure things out, to get back, to get like a little taste. You know, I'd say it was pretty decent.
Coach O has been very high on Major Burns, Coach Jones. Major is a guy that was committed to LSU, and a lot of people thought he was going to stay here. He went to Georgia after some things went down, and now he's back here where it feels like he is supposed to be. They continuously say his name after each practice and scrimmage. How have you heard he's made an impact here early on?
Not surprised. Major was a very, very high character kid. And, you know, I think ever since he's been back, before he actually started participating, before they started doing stuff, the coaches were telling me that he was always in the film room, just trying to learn everything about the scheme so he'd be ready to contribute when it got time to play. I'm not surprised at all about Major's success, because he's one of those kids that really, he wasn't as highly, he was in school with Joel Williams. Williams was a more gifted athlete. Major actually was a baseball player.
Really?
And then he kind of started putting more emphasis into football, but amazing work ethic and a high character kid.
Shit, I bet you he could cover some ground as a center fielder.
Yeah, he played baseball most of his life. And then he kind of focused on football some around his junior year.
Do you have any other loves or passions besides football and basketball?
Not really, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. What's this part of it like? Do you like this part of it? The attention that you get? I know I've blown you up all summer and asked you to come on for interviews and come into the studio. I mean, do you like that? Because ultimately you will receive that with your play, will bring that to you.
Yeah, I don't really mind. It's pretty cool. Makes me feel important.
Right?
Yeah.
What about name, image, and likeness stuff? Have you started to pay any attention to that stuff? I saw Derek Stingley signed a deal with United Airlines yesterday. He'll probably make six figures this year off the field playing college football. By the time you get there to college football 2 years from now, a lot of that stuff will be more figured out. Have you started to kind of pay attention on how you could capitalize on that stuff?
I've been paying attention to it. Me and Coach Jones been looking into it, trying to figure out what's that going to be like when I get there, how we going to brand ourselves. We haven't made that far into it yet, but, still thinking about it.
Yeah. Big fella, best of luck to you in your senior season, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for getting by here into the studio. I know we've talked about this for a long time. Coach Jones, thank you for your help on this, man.
Oh, man. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. I appreciate what you do for Madison Prep or for our community and for the youth and guys like Quincy Wiggins. I know you can hear the way that he talks about your leadership and mentorship and how much you mean to him. So I appreciate you finding the time to squeeze us in this morning.
No problem.
We will be back here on the Jordy Culotta Show with more of it. There's a lot to talk to. Ben Mintz will be here in 30 minutes. We'll talk to Nathan Velasquez in the second hour. But big Quincy Wiggins stopping in before his senior season starts here in recruiting. He makes his decision before December. Thank you, fellas, and we'll be back right after this, presented by Go Chevrolet. Gearing up for spring and summer down here in South Louisiana, and you want to keep your lawn maintained during these sunny seasons, get in touch with our friend Blake Abear over at Abear's Lawn Maintenance, where he says, you grow it, I mow it. 225-485-8022. 225-485-8022 is where you can find Abear's Lawn and Maintenance, the official lawn and maintenance company of the Undisclosed Location. Papa Earl's, the fine spice, originating right down here in South Louisiana by our guy Mark Pop Norman. Developed it back in 2018 and won Amazon's Newcomer of the Year in 2019. They pride themselves in having 30% less salt and sodium than the leading brands at the same price point. You can find them locally. Look for Papa Earl's at Rouse's, Calandro's, Mathern's, High Neighbor, and more. True Blue Water, true hydration at its finest. Right now, you're only a few minutes away from getting your 5-gallon water delivered to you, just like we are over here at the UDL. All you got to do is log on to truebluewater.com. That's TRU, bluewater.com. The website's fantastic over at truebluewater.com. You can get your service and find out how quick it is. You can schedule a delivery, even hop on the billing system right there at truebluewater.com. TRU, bluewater.com. Go Chevrolet is proud to announce Go Express Auto Sales, the new used car lot located in the capital city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, at 11522 Florida Boulevard. Go Express Auto Sales is online at goexpressautosales.com, or you can search them on Facebook and social media at Go Express Auto Sales, the newest addition to the family of Go Chevrolet. Remember, Go Chevrolet is located down in LaPlace, Louisiana, but now welcoming aboard Go Express, the new used car lot located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at 11522 Florida Boulevard. Go Flow IV and Spa, 7970 Jefferson Highway is where you can find them, or you can simply go online to goflowiv.com. Go Flow IV Spa is a medical spa that specializes in IV hydration with vitamin infusion. At Go Flow IV Spa, they can help you with a wide range of issues, from skin care to illness recovery, athletic performance, hangover cure, chronic illness, and even chronic dehydration. GoFlowIV.com or stop in and see them, 7970 Jefferson Highway. Hebert's Specialty Meats, home to the finest boudin in South Louisiana. Two spots right here in Baton Rouge and out in Prairieville. Stop in and see them in the Dutchtown Shopping Center on Highway 73 or right here in Baton Rouge on Jefferson Highway. Online, abearsmarkets.com, and they're all over social media. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Instagram. Hebert's combines perfect seasoning with that authentic Cajun flavor. Find out for yourself. Baton Rouge on Jefferson Highway and in Prairieville on Highway 73. abearsmarkets.com.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Welcome back here to a Friday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show presented by Go Chevrolet. Remember, daily we're brought to you by Falaya Real Estate. Get in touch with Barrett Blondo and our friends over at Falaya Real Estate as Barrett is changing the game. He's changing the way that real estate is sold. Find out today how he can help you with stuff like push-button offers and virtual tours. It's selling your house by yourself. You can save thousands. Do it yourself for selling your house. Welcome to Empowered Real Estate. Sell your home like a pro over at Falaya Real Estate. Download the app inside your Google and Apple and Android app stores and get to Falaya and tell Barrett Blondo that you heard it right here on the Jordy Culotta Show. You see Katie is back after a, I believe it was
out
a
of
10
quarantine.
10 day?
No.
10 day.
7. Don't do that.
7.
It felt like 30 days, honestly. Not going to lie.
But were you on vacation before you quarantined?
Well, like 2 weeks before that.
Yes, I'm sorry. The days are
You
smudged
think?
together.
I don't know what day it is.
I bet.
I'm glad to
Post-coital
be
over
back.
there. He's
I bet.
relaxing after his
You
interview.
are.
He looks like he just...
Little cigarette.
Yeah, he looks like he just was on a first date. You should have seen him before we got into the studio. He's like, make sure all this is
Clean
clean.
up! Quincy's coming!
in.
I cleaned up the foyer.
Yeah, I know. It's a big deal.
Foyer.
Oh,
Foyer.
Quincy.
Pick that
UDL.
up! Quincy's coming!
That's right.
If you want to see what a first overall pick may look like, that just demeanor of just like, I mean, this is pretty easy.
17 years old.
And
I know, that's
he's like,
crazy.
this is easy. I don't know what I mean. I'm pretty relaxed right now.
I love how he said it makes him feel important when you asked him
Yeah.
about the attention.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't mind. It
He's
makes
got
me feel
little kids
important.
coming up to him like he's Superman, tugging on the
know.
cape.
Honest, bro. He
Honest.
was
That's cute.
He was honest. He was good. And at least we do know this time that it was Quincy Wiggins.
Confirmed.
It was,
I would hope so.
that was the real thing. That was the real thing.
Fresh
Appreciate
tat?
Jeff, appreciate Jeff Fresh Tat. Like last 24 hour.
Did anybody
Fresh
see what
Tat.
it said, though? I
It
it
said beast.
Oh.
It says something beast.
Okay. I saw the
probably should have
ST.
asked.
Yeah, we probably should
Probably
have.
should have.
He was looking at it a lot.
Probably should have.
It probably hurts.
Yeah, he was kind of.
You know, loosen up once until you know. It's like when you get one of those new things, you're just like, I believe this is cool. I'm glad I did it.
Shout out to Jeff Jones, head basketball coach at Madison Prep. I almost sold away one of his state championships. He caught me on that.
Yeah, because he's keeping a count on that.
Right.
We're at 7 now.
I mean, he was kind of showing the camera like, this
Yeah.
dumbass, he let me miss one. Yeah, right.
One over Jordan, I got 7.
I got 7. 7 in 12 years. School's been open for 12 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And has pumped out just outstanding players, but better people, man. I'm telling you, Jeff Jones is one of the great guys in our city. Has mentored and done great work with the youth and just cares. I mean, above all else, I mean, he gets up out of bed every day and goes and tries to change lives for the better. And I appreciate him helping us out with Quincy Wiggins this morning, bringing him over as Big Q led off our Friday morning here.
Before school. That's impressive.
That was good. I'd imagine that he missed a little time this morning.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're not rushing to make the bell.
What? Yeah, I mean, what do you got to be? I mean, I'll do the pledge later.
I mean, that is some big man on campus type status there. I thought you know what I mean? I mean, as arrogant, as cocky as I was as a senior in high school, I swung no weight like Quincy Wiggins swings on his campus.
Not even close.
And the stuff that I was trying to get away with.
Well, you got kicked out of like 6 schools,
right?
So yeah, it obviously didn't work out that great.
If I was Quincy Wiggins' status,
I'm not going to school today.
No
I'm done.
I mean, we played last night. What do you expect me to do? What, go sit in class today? I'm sore.
Yeah, I got 4 sacks last night. I mean, we're good.
But I played.
I couldn't do my homework.
But academics are important there, like you said.
Yeah, no, they really are. I mean, Madison Prep is a great school.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, I think athletics brings a lot of the attention there. But you start digging in, man. I mean, Madison Prep is a
Strong.
great place. Yeah, it's a good place. All right, Ben Mintz here at 8 o'clock. Coming up, we'll talk some gambling stuff with Mincy. As I think the news really kind of starting to leak out. Barstool's going to open up here at LaBerge. Of course, Penn Game owned LaBerge and Barstool marrying one another, and that Barstool Sportsbook going to be there. So we're going to talk to Mincy about some of the lines, some of the weekends, some of the preseason stuff.
They need a preseason NFL guy. Your boy hit again last night on the Patriots.
Okay.
1.5.
Oh, yeah, he did.
And they just swallowed up. I don't even remember who the Eagles.
The Eagles beat the hell out of them.
Beat the hell out of the
Zero,
Eagles.
right? Like 30-something to 0?
Just saying, if they need a preseason, I'm 4-0 in the preseason.
I think
Cam Newton
Cam had one
he's
touchdown,
not letting
right?
Mac Jones just
I think
take
Cam
that job
needed
away
that.
from him.
I
Yeah,
think
kinda
Cam needed
he
a little
did, too.
little kick in the
He
ass.
I mean, look at the way he's handling press conferences now. He's not all over the place. He's very much kind of needling the press back to the needles that they're throwing at him.
Has the style changed at all? Is he still?
Well, he's just kind of going football.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's just kinda
because
going,
he's very into.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a lot.
He's my favorite.
But I think
swag. I love it.
it's unbelievable.
Did he wear a romper?
He did.
In the preseason? No, okay, as a starter. That's fine.
Oh yeah, I mean, because if he's the backup, you got to change your entire.
No, you can't do that.
Swag. You got to go in
looking like that.
You just
man.
wear Belichick's hoodie in.
Who is this guy? He's our number 2 quarterback.
Oh
Wow.
Wow. Does he know that?
Yeah, right. Has anybody told him? But Mac Jones looked really good, man. 3 scoring drives last night from Mac. But I do believe that Cam Newton's a starter. I agree with you. I think he needed that. Because
their skill set is so different. Like I don't know how you do that if you're Josh McDaniels. Like you have to have 2 entirely different game plans. Because for everything that I've heard about Mac Jones, he's very cerebral. Maybe photographic memory that I've heard that he can just diagnose. Big brain, not big athlete. Cam, big athlete, bigger style, big personality.
Yeah.
So it has to you have to have. All right, here's the Mac Jones playbook where we go.
But it does if you're paying attention to Cam. Like last night, he was 6 for 7, stood in the pocket, delivered the ball with
have to play
a little bit more accuracy than he has been accustomed to. But I mean, zipping the ball, throwing it well. He's always had a really strong arm. He just didn't know where it was going, right? Mac Jones has got that accurate arm. I mean, where he just kind of
looks like he's at recess.
It does. I mean, he just kind of one time I said he just kind of slid up in the pocket, like guy brushed his shoulder. You know what I mean? He just kind of shoveled him off real quick, reset his feet, and made a throw to the outside hash mark where you're like,
okay.
I just don't see that in you when you're standing on the sideline, but that is super impressive, man.
I mean,
when you're on the field, I mean, that guy has got to be the most deceiving athlete.
I mean, I can pull up the picture.
Tom Brady?
No, Mac Jones
Yeah,
with
that's
the
what I'm
belly
saying.
button. That's a cavern, dude.
That's what I'm saying,
He looks like a milk carton. He's the biggest
bag of milk. Wasn't
he's
that
a
where
bag
that
of
came
milk.
from?
He just look. Yeah, yes. I mean,
You can
there's
see his
just
belly button through his jersey.
last guy off the bus, and Cam's the first guy off the bus. Like this guy. I feel like he would show up to the fraternity league with a cigarette in his mouth and
No
then
doubt.
dice you up for 4 touchdowns.
No
Be
doubt.
like, are you kidding? And I was doing it in the NFL.
Calling glass all day in the rec league, but dropping 40 on you.
But how you get?
You know
But
what I
can't
mean?
get up and down the court. It's like,
Yeah.
cigarette.
First pick, though. I'll take Mac.
Without a
You know
doubt, it's unbelievable. Like Burrow had a little bit of that, but he wasn't as doughy. Like Burrow was a kind of when he got to LSU, he had like a little chub.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
can tell that he hadn't
Yeah.
played in a while. And then if you Dude, he's got a Tom Brady glow up at this point from
Yeah, he does.
Yes,
like
he does.
6th-round Tom Brady to now, and now you have
2018 to 2021 on Joe Burrow feels like 1996 to 2021 on Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Ah, look who it is.
Ah,
Food guy.
All right.
All right.
he is
Watch
straight.
that Papa Earl's, bro.
Yeah, give it a little fine
Yeah, right,
spice.
right.
There you go.
You're not paying for that real estate, are you? But Papa Earl's is. Shout out to Pop, Norman, and the crew. Pick yours up locally, and I found the cup. Love this cup, bro.
That's an
Love
awesome
this
cup.
Watch out for Sean now. Fresh off the boat from Las Vegas.
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that was his first experience there. So I tried to give him some pointers. I've been there 3 times.
I've never been.
Yeah, it's not 3
Never
times is
been to
too
Vegas?
many.
Never been to Vegas.
What was his point?
Work.
Word.
The pizza expo for
Okay,
Roca.
cool.
Sure it
And I
was.
don't think they even went to the expo.
No,
I
no way.
don't think they
No
made
way.
it. But
Wait, a pizza expo? That would be amazing, though.
But it's not what you think it is. It's not like a bunch of like different pizzas. It's like
Oh.
all the equipment they use to make the pizza. So
Oh,
you're like
that's
going
not
around
as
like
amazing.
shopping vendors.
You don't get to
And-
eat the pizza?
I don't think so.
Oh,
But I mean, I
never
think that's
mind.
why they kind of bailed on it. They're like, what is? I mean,
Clearly.
I can just look this up on the internet. Now we're in Las Vegas. It was a boondoggle just to go to Vegas. So you might be a little spicy.
Explain this story to me if you have seen this more, but I'm just reading the headline here. Sha'Carri Richardson is going to race the top 3 winners in the
Yes.
Olympics. She's going to beat that ass.
Fastest woman in the world
She
she's
is
going to
gonna
race
beat
against.
that ass.
I
I
know.
cannot wait to watch this. When is this? When is this happening?
I don't know. I put the link in the document. I didn't click on it though.
Yeah, but it's a Twitter link.
Well, yeah, open it up.
I did. I mean, it just goes to like a picture of all 3 of them. I mean, no information. No.
I think you click, and then you click that, and it takes you to the story. That's how the internet works.
Thank you, dickhead.
But she also put out a TikTok of her like not ready. She was in I guess like at the barbershop, and it was her like not did up the way she is for her track
Really? What
events,
was
and
that
they
like?
like dropped the. They spun her around in the chair, and she was in her track uniform. She's like, "I'm back, bitches."
Oh, cute.
Let's go.
So it was like she wants all the smoke, and it's
Absolutely.
against the top 3 Jamaicans that went gold, silver, bronze in the Olympics, and now I'll insert Sha'Carri Richardson. So this is the real Olympics to me. This is the race that everybody
Absolutely.
wanted.
Yeah,
And
it
You are
is.
not the fastest. You're not the fastest person in the world until you win this race.
Right. Now it's here. And because it's not
Absolutely.
like she was on steroids, dude. She was just smoking
Yeah.
a little Chiba.
I mean,
Right?
And she'll
go
do it
ahead,
again.
Slow you
burn.
down.
I mean, all of y'all. I mean, I'm sure the Jamaicans are rating it. I mean, you think how do they celebrate?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's a big old cigar.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah, Saturday.
Holy shit.
What time? All right.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I know.
I am all in.
I will watch that. Is it just 100 meters? And it takes about
I
10
think so,
seconds
yeah.
to
That's fine.
watch.
That's fine.
It's going to be awesome.
That's fine.
Good for her.
Dude, it's a Sha'Carri Richardson revenge story.
Yeah,
This
it
has
really
to be
is.
it. She's probably been training. She had this circled since the Olympics started.
Yeah.
She had to be like, well, if I'm not going to go there, all these three girls are going to be at this
Yep.
next event. All right, I'm working over here.
Uh-huh.
Don't you worry. She can show up and dust.
I'm all in. I'm all in. All in. Any details come out on that tomorrow? Yeah, just let us know because I want.
It'll probably be on NBC.
That's fine. It's on NBC. On the Peacock.
The cock.
Yes, bro. They are pumping the cock. Dude.
They're content leaking everywhere.
Is
I
are they
mean-
calling it the cock now?
I
Is
mean,
that a
that's
thing,
kind
or
of the
did y'all
short
just do
version.
that?
Yeah.
They're calling it the
The
Peacock.
PC version.
I know they call it the peacock.
The Peacock.
Yeah, but what do you think was going to
I
happen?
mean, I think they knew exactly
I've
what
never
was going to
thought
happen
about it
when
that
they
way,
put, when
actually.
Free
I mean,
branding.
everybody that talks about it, any blog, any
Radio show.
podcast.
They call it the
like-
cock?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the first time
Continuously.
I've heard it.
What have you been doing in quarantine?
I mean, not
cock.
reading
Yeah,
blogs
right.
on the cock, I guess.
I mean, how was quarantine?
I mean, it was super. I don't know. It was weird. I mean,
Sure.
it's weird to be
Yes.
to like know you can't go anywhere. I mean, it's very.
See, Katie's not built for quarantine life.
I'm
I
not
feel like
built
you
for
are.
No,
Quarantine
I'm
life.
not, bro.
Really?
I mean-
guess you do get out there a little bit.
I mean, I'm an extended chiller.
Right.
I do like to chill, but
Everybody likes to chill, but not forced
Quarantine,
chilling.
bro,
That's forced chilling.
is go ahead and be creative with the books, bro. You can move the books if you have to. Just
I mean, I
Look
watched
at-
the show every morning. Clearly, that's how I started
Yeah.
my day and interacted with y'all. Did a little work.
so
did a
like
little school
legit
stuff.
like did not leave the house.
No.
Did not leave the walls of your home.
No.
What did
Only
I
to
mean,
go get tested.
You
Only
can
to
move
get us
that
all
football
tested.
if you want. Yeah.
Who?
I mean, nobody
did you
want
cook?
everyone. Yes.
You had to cook. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I
I
mean-
ordered probably like
Perfect.
4
Pop on
shift
down.
orders.
What
like
happened on
Whole
the What
Foods
happened on the
order.
grocery run? Like who made the grocery runs?
Ordered it all.
Okay.
Shipped in
That's right.
Amazon, Whole
That's right.
Foods. I mean, probably every day almost we did an order. Somebody would be
Okay.
like, "Can you get this? Can you get this? Can you make this?"
Are you gonna be Is that the new way now? Are you addicted to them
I
bringing
was
the
addicted
groceries
to that
you?
before. I don't ever want to go in a store again.
Really?
No need.
I'm
Because
I'll
all
go
you
to
do
the
is
grocery.
in the stores browse around and buy stuff you don't need.
You
so.
look like you're fresh from Vegas, dude.
Are you
your
laughing at him
face.
going to the grocery store?
No,
Or
I'm
you're
laughing
just-
at Sean's face. It's so puffy. He looks
You're
like he
just-
hasn't slept in 16
Don't
days.
tell him that. You're gonna give him a complex.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
And he had to
The
go to
whole
work
Courtney
yesterday.
family.
Straight off the plane, straight to work.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Is this true? You just landed from Vegas.
Yesterday.
At 3:30. I was at work by 4:30.
That is, if you've
That's
if
awesome.
you've ever,
Sweating.
yeah,
What are you sweating? What are you
It's
sweating?
not water.
What was this? Was your first Vegas experience?
Yeah, we went for work.
Yeah, we heard.
We went for work.
We went for
It's
about
a
6
expo.
hours and 3
We're on to
days.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, right. I don't believe those 6 hours anyway.
was
all
walking
give,
around like, what
give
am
me
I
your
doing?
Vegas experience. What was it like? How hot was it?
It's hot.
Yeah,
Super hot.
But not this kind of hot. No.
It's
No,
cook,
no.
cook an egg on a
Dry
rock
hot.
type hot.
Oh yeah, and we were
Yeah.
like second day. Well, we did the expo for work for about 8 hours, and then it was half of what it should have been. So the second day we woke up like, we don't have to go back there, do we?
That sucked.
Yeah, like all right, fine. So we just hit every casino we could all day long. Day before yesterday,
Yeah.
it was a good time.
Up or down? Leaving?
Even.
No,
that's a
lie.
win.
I've never heard anybody.
But that's a win. If
Yeah.
you're not lying, that's a
We
win.
didn't hit the tables that hard. We did a lot of restaurants, a lot of bars. good.
Sports gaming or just table gaming?
Yeah, more table. The one last was like mostly day baseball. Right, there's not much going on right now.
First 5, baby.
Right.
Cash those checks.
Oh, yeah.
Preseason football.
Preseason
Preseason.
football.
Did you play any futures?
Got a little sprinkle on my guys, so we'll see what happens.
Max Johnson, Heisman, future?
I
Is that
go
even
there.
on the board?
I don't-
Gotta be.
I think it was. I didn't go there. It was
Yeah.
Derek
is
Stingley Heisman?
What are the odds on the Johnson Heisman?
That I can
right
find
now?
for you very
Yeah.
quickly.
I mean, if so, the Culotta show would like to.
Oh, you'd put a wager down? Would you go Max Johnson over Stingley?
Yes.
Oh.
At this point. At this
What
point.
are you going to do when he catches 10 touchdowns and runs 3 back?
Then I'd wake you up. Out of your dreams, bro.
That would be awesome.
You know what I mean? Speaking of Stingley, how about the United Airlines?
That was awesome.
Before we get there, Sean,
yeah.
good to see you. Welcome back from Vegas.
Thank
your
you,
face
thank
does
you.
not look that puffy. That's just some brotherly
Yeah,
bullshit.
Yeah, I
he's
don't
doing.
think
it's
you
I
look
feel
puffy.
fine. I broke
I
out
feel
of a,
fine.
I broke out of a sweat at about 2:30. I was like, I'm later to this.
Yeah,
one.
there you go. There you go. Get all this poison out of me.
He needs to go flow
Oh,
IV.
God,
Dude, I was
more
gonna
than
say
We
just
can do
death.
that. Yes, go flow IV. We can make that happen.
Yeah.
What are we eating?
So, I brought you guys a little trio. So it's refried beans, queso, guacamole, then some carne asada tacos. That UDL's got a very fine kitchen.
Thank you.
Thing is-
Upgraded.
Upgrade.
Oh, dude, did you?
Yeah.
He texted me last night. He's like, "Is the kitchen back? Like,
Yeah, last
does
time-
he have anything in there?" Last
Last
time I
time
was
we
there,
did
he
it,
was
I was
being
good.
sarcastic.
It was me and Chef Mike, the
Yeah.
microwave.
Yeah, Chef
Yeah.
Mike.
But yeah.
He turned out a lot of meals over the last 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
Overworked.
No, I think it was right after the flood.
Yeah.
The last time I was here.
Right.
So it looks great.
So what's going on at Modesto? You guys gearing up for game days, huh?
Gearing up for game days. We're actually dipping our toes in LL waters. So we got a couple announcements coming the next few days. I don't want to spoil anything, but
Oh, I thought you were going to announce it here first.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that.
We drop a
But,
lot of things here first.
Well, I can say he's a defensive back.
Okay.
Sprinkle that on.
Nice little peer pressure there from Katie. You almost folded.
We did it yesterday.
He almost folded.
Say
I
it,
can keep
say it, say the
He
name.
almost folded. I'm going
You get a
Cardell
phone
Flott.
call.
I'm going Eli Ricks. I'd go Eli Ricks. Eli Ricks is probably the play now with Stingley's attention. As much as Stingley's inking deals. I mean, Stingley's playing with 6 figures off the field next year, right? I mean, raising canes. He just signed. I mean, the car deal
Car.
alone, he gets the vehicle. I mean, that's,
I think it's free
50,000.
flights.
The walk-ons deal, Raising Cane's, he just signs the deal with United Airlines.
Do something for the rest of us.
We've got to be at 6 figures at this point,
And,
right?
and if you go Ricks, 100%. And if you go Ricks, you get an extra year of him, because he can't go pro just yet. He has to stay for his junior year. So that might be the better play because, I mean, Stingley's gone after this.
Well, you get a ton of personality in Ricks.
Yes.
And then here's the risk that you buy on Ricks that, you know, I would bet to hit is that he could be a superstar. You know what I mean?
He's
Like
not
a Ricks Island type superstar where he is next year he's the Stingley of college football, but he's got this big brash personality where his chain's gonna be have a lot more diamonds in it. You know what I mean? Like exactly. He's gonna have the clock around his neck.
I still don't think he goes to media days. I think they're a little.
I
think they're a little scared of what old Rick brings to the table. He's just a brash California kid.
Right.
All right, so I guess it's Rick's and Modesto. Good to know.
That's who we got.
Breaking news.
That's who we got.
I heard it here first.
But good to see you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for that. But
Can we eat one of those?
Yeah, dude,
for
go
sure.
for
I'm
it.
about
No,
to
they're
dive
show
in.
tacos. I eat tacos. All
So,
right.
those tacos or nachos?
Tacos.
Okay.
What?
Carne asada.
Are you serious right now?
What do you mean?
You thought that was a nacho?
Well, from my vantage point, it looks
Oh.
flat. It doesn't look folded over.
Well, you fold it yourself.
It's got
You
the-
make a little
You fold it
taco in your
yourself.
hand.
It's open.
Easy.
Yeah, give the guy a break.
Just a point of view from the
Did you just
sixth
get back
row.
from Vegas?
For God's sakes.
Y'all on my ass today.
Good Lord.
If you want to talk Heisman odds real quick,
Yes.
guess who has the same odds together? Max Johnson and Derek Stingley Jr.
Really?
Plus 5,000.
100 to buy 5,000. You know what? 200. One on each.
One on each?
I mean, why not?
I wish I would have done Joe Burrow.
Go to the bowl game on the
Sexually
wins.
and bet on him.
Sheesh.
Best part about
You and the rest of the town.
If you do it in Vegas, you gotta go back to get your ticket.
You're right. Honey, I gotta
fine.
go
Then you leave
back.
with no money.
Yeah. Thank you for this. And here it goes right back on black.
Yeah. It's double as ever.
Give me Eli Ricks next year.
Put it back in.
Daily, we were brought to you by A-Bear Specialty Meats here on the Jordy Culotta Show. A-Bear Specialty Meats located in the Jefferson Highway Shopping Center right there with Pearson's Luggage, which just closed down, which is
I heard
crazy.
that. But the
man.
travel agency's staying open,
The travel
right?
agency is staying open, but the Pearson, which is just a great
But it
little,
makes sense, right?
like
I mean,
gift spot. Yes, I
you know.
Wait, what is it? Just they sell luggage?
Luggage. It's a travel agency too, but luggage and gifts.
Like just a lot of like
Well, I'm here. Can I get a bag?
weird stuff.
Oh, let me go
And
to
a Swiss
Pearson.
Army knife. And a tumbler. And
Just a gift.
neck pillow.
It's just a gift. It's
And
an
you know what I mean?
airport,
It's
but
like
there's
it
no
is.
flight.
It's very much like an airport.
I
It's like
still
an
don't know why
airport.
they sell luggage
Magazines.
at airports.
Yeah, well, dude, you know why they sell luggage at airports is if you go over the
Yeah.
weight and you're like, I gotta get another bag,
Gotta check a bag.
and it's like $5,500
I've
to
seen
get
people
a
just put
bag.
stuff in trash bags.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
yeah, that freaks me out.
Oh, this
bad.
must be.
That's
you.
where airlines. That's where airlines are making their money now, right? On bags.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
ridiculous.
people that are packing and checking bags. I mean, you nearly buy another plane ticket.
Remember when it used to be included?
Yeah.
God,
South-
we
it is
sound
the
like old
Southwest.
Dickie V over here, don't we? Complaining about our
Dickie
flights.
V.
Yeah,
The nerve of the first class waiter
What kind of
to serve
breakfast?
me an egg without it. I mean,
Over
Dick.
easy. I wanted it scrambled. I got soft teeth.
Jesus. Just a little bit, man, of awareness. Just a tad bit.
He didn't want his little cookie, his little waffle cookie.
Roy Hill says, save it for Quincy Wiggins on the NIL stuff.
we get a lot of restaurants.
Ah, okay.
33. We can make something happen.
Get him one at each.
It's like
why not?
burritos and get him at Izzo's.
I didn't finish my live read on A-Bear Specialty
roll
Meats.
your
Go
own.
see them. They're on Highway 73
You
in
didn't.
Prairieville, Dutchtown Shopping Center, or they're at Jefferson Highway right here in the Jefferson Highway Shopping Center where Pearson's used to be. Stop in and check them out. They got lunch specials in Baton Rouge. They have great freezers full of selections for you in both locations. Check them out at abearsmeats.com.
No luggage.
No luggage.
No luggage.
All right, so Sha'Carri Richardson runs tomorrow 1:30.
I wonder if you can bet
1:30
on
on
it.
NBC. I'm sure you can bet on that. Another story we did not talk about a lot this week is that Cam Thomas was named the MVP of the NBA Summer League for his role with the Brooklyn Nets. He was named co-MVP alongside Sacramento Kings Davion Mitchell from Baylor, national champ with the Bears last season. Thomas averaged 27 points a game out in Vegas. Did you see any of that? Any
Yeah,
Summer
we
League?
stayed at the Encore and the Pels were there.
Really?
Oh, yeah?
Undefeated.
cool.
Probably the best team in
Yeah,
Vegas.
they look good.
I mean, they went off the point differential this year for the championship. I
Yeah.
think they won the made-for-television championship. But, I mean, the Pels, undefeated, and never really they weren't really tested. Like, it was never really
Close.
Yeah, the Warriors was the only game that it felt like it was a close game.
You mentioned Cam Thomas, Rookie of the Year. It would be a
Possible
sneaky
candidate.
pick.
I mean, it's a hard team to get a lot of points on.
Well, I think they're going to just shove him in there whenever they take the 3
Especially-
stars off.
I mean,
They all rest.
Think about how much run he's going to get from December through March, December through
Right.
I mean, like February. He's going to get so much time just because. I mean, that did anybody see the interview with Kevin Durant and Draymond Green? I mean, one of the most just in-depth and honest interviews that I believe you can get from a legitimate superstar these days. I don't know if you saw the polls where NBA GMs, executives all voted on who's the best player in the league. They took 10 anonymous GMs and presidents from the league, and 5 voted Giannis, 5 voted KD.
0 for
Zero
LeBron
for
James,
Right.
who noticed immediately.
He did notice on Twitter, which I would expect him to do.
I'm surprised he didn't get a vote.
But I think KD's kind of getting the nod right now of kind of best player in the world type reputation. And in that interview, he kind of feels like that. I mean, he feels like he's got that status to him in being recognized as that. And none of those cats are going to play from December through February. I mean, March. I mean, none of them are going to play extended numbers of nights. I mean, they may come in here and pepper 2-3 games in a row. They may play, 6 out of 10 games, 5 out of 10 games. And even within those games, they're not playing real extended minutes. I think Cam Thomas is going to play a lot of basketball for Brooklyn in, just some inconspicuous nights.
Well, just eat up minutes. Because if you remember how Brooklyn played last year, they didn't have any of those cats play. They would go stretches 4 and 5 games where it would never be the big 3 together. They only played I think 15 games together, maybe in the regular season, something like that. But they just did it like a hockey season. They were just run out one of them and then did shift changes of who they wanted. They never really put their big 3 out there. So that's why I mentioned Cam Thomas, because I think he's going to eat up a ton of minutes and then just be their de facto scorer, because they treat the beginning of the season in the NBA like summer league.
Yeah,
they don't care about those first 40 games.
Especially the superstars.
Right. They're we're not playing today.
I mean,
LeBron's the only one that will go out there and play.
Like Zion still cares. He's still young enough in his career to still care. I mean, those cats, Harden, Kyrie, KD, I mean, they're
a back-to-back.
See you in April, bro.
Let me know where are the standings.
Absolutely.
If we're an 8 seed, we'll all come play and get that 1 seed.
I was fascinated by the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Draymond, Klay Thompson, Steve Kerr, Bob Myers. The entire makeup of that organization at that time had me captivated as a sports fan. As soon as the book came out, The Victory Machine, that was written by Ethan Strauss, I couldn't buy it fast enough to find out just how almost big of a brat KD was, is what you kind of learn in the book. That's at least how the picture is painted with why Golden State broke up at that time. It seemed like that, explosion happened a year and a half in advance. If you read the book, there was a lot of stuff behind the scenes that was happening with KD. I mean, his superstar status really was kind of starting to take over the locker room. If you read that book,
You read a lot of books.
yeah.
And you give a lot of reviews on here. We should have a UDL book club.
All right.
It's like reading Rainbow up in here.
Lloyd's out.
You're like LeVar Bell.
Lloyd's out.
Make sure they're on tape.
First of all, I'm an excellent reader. 35 on the ACT in reading. I don't know which one I missed, but I would
Wow.
like to.
Excellent.
I'd like to challenge it because I doubt it.
Excellent.
But
Is that real?
Yes. 34 on the English, but
Same.
look at me.
Bro, what'd you score in the ACT?
27.
Math brought him down.
Yeah,
18 on the math.
Me too, math.
Had to go to BRCC because it wasn't high enough. No, 16 on the math. It wasn't high enough to get into LSU. I had to
Are
go,
you kidding me with a
Yeah.
27?
They wouldn't let me in. I had full tops, and they wouldn't let me in. Because you
Math.
have to have an 18 on the math.
Math
And I had a 16. I took it 3
You
times.
couldn't take
Oh,
a summer course?
I did. That's why I went to BRCC to take the summer
Oh,
course. And then I was
okay.
at the Cox Communication building with math 1003. And I mean, I was probably one of the worst. I mean, it was a big room, and I still was at the very bottom of the barrel. I was like
Right.
looking around.
Yeah,
Can
sure.
I get an answer, please?
Golly, I'm math dumb too.
Exponents,
Hate math.
equations. Once they put letters in there, I mean, it really kind of ruined the thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was just numbers
Sure.
we were doing.
Sure,
and
I'm with
just
you.
look it up.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But
Where
I'm in
were
a
we?
book club right now. We started one with some of Baton Rouge friends, and it's already.
You're in a book club?
It's already tailspun.
Yeah, it's already disintegrated.
Yeah, none of us have
Yeah.
any ability. Like, we're not gonna do it.
Text chain hadn't been hit in over 2
Yeah,
months.
it's named book club.
Yeah.
And we put some feelers out for people that had read like 20 pages, and somebody's like, whoa. It's like, brother, Bailey, it's 20 pages. If you haven't read it yet, you're not gonna read it. Like, it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You can't even crack the thing. So
I was in one too. I brought the book to the meeting and I got made fun of really bad.
Oof.
I thought you were
'Cause
supposed to.
I thought
I
that
mean,
too,
isn't
but
that a book
everybody
club?
really railed on me for bringing the book.
Wow.
They were like, "We're not really talking about it. We're just like drinking wine and saying if we read it or not."
that's-
I was like there with my book and my
It's
notes.
the Rotary Club. my
That
mother
sounds like
said.
my mother's rosary club.
The
Yeah.
Rosary Club.
And
they,
then for
they pray real fast, and then they have brunch.
Yes.
yeah, it's
just
yeah,
not
community.
everybody.
Now that that's out of the way, ladies, who do we want to talk about today?
That's exactly what it was. It was just gossip club. We would see that Rosary Club at Wednesdays in the morning get shot. I'd be like, "Fuck, dude, we're gonna be in trouble whenever we get back at 5 o'clock after practice."
Busted
Like,
for that party.
yeah,
We especially
That's
want to pray for
hilarious.
Susie, who is running around with the neighbor this week.
I heard that Jared.
Yes, but the Draymond Green and KD interview on Bleacher Report's podcast and YouTube channel is as in-depth, honest, and transparent as you will find from an active athlete. Active athlete. Draymond's still with the organization, and they are, I mean, dragging Steve Kerr and Bob Myers. They both say, and kind of Draymond goes a little further in than KD does. I mean, Draymond's an employee of the Golden State Warriors, and now I know he's got a ton of money and he's got his status, and he's coming off of an Olympic gold medal, and he's probably is the face and at least the personality of Golden State right now. And he uses a lot of his equity on this podcast. I mean, like he goes to the window and lets Bob Myers know pretty much that he was the guy that lit the wick on blowing this thing up. And not to say that I wanted to see them stick together, but to hear those guys speak of it in that point of view and hear how much Kerr and Myers had to do with it. And it wasn't as if like they were trying to like cut these guys' legs out from underneath them and do stuff behind their back. It was the way that they handled certain things. And really they go to the blow up that KD and Draymond had in the team huddle in some like February night, you know what I mean, in the NBA when they're playing the Clippers. And KD, as he's walking away from that fight, he mouths like, "This is why I'm leaving," or "This is the bullshit I'm not putting up with."
Yeah.
He says something where, you know, a bunch of lip readers are like, "Oh, look, there's the moment. That's the moment when it all went down." And he said like him and Draymond behind the scenes, like they squashed the stuff. They got it figured out that night. And Myers and Steve Kerr were like calling Draymond into meeting, was like, "You have to apologize to KD, and this is what you have to say to him." Draymond's like, get out of my face. He's like, "You don't even know what y'all are talking about, man." I mean, he was like, the way that those guys, I mean, it is
Is this from the book?
No, this is post book.
Oh.
This happened like last week. I mean, it's happened pretty. The sit down with Draymond and KD has happened over the last
this week,
like 72 hours.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
it's on Bleacher Report's YouTube page, and it is it is fantastic.
Well, and if you think about it, whenever KD came in, Draymond was the one that made the call. Like that was the reason that KD even entertained the idea of going to the Golden State Warriors. And then if you remember during the championship parade, Bob Myers and Steve Kerr are basically publicly mocking Kevin Durant about what contract that they want to give him, and it just all played out like very bizarrely, where you're like, KD's the best player on your team, and y'all are talking about how Steph Curry's going to be a Warrior for life, Klay Thompson's going to be a Warrior for life, Draymond's going to be a Warrior for life. You're like, well, KD we might offer like the mid-level exception. You know, they're just, and KD's like, are y'all shitting me right now? Like,
I'm the MVP.
I'm the reason y'all just lost last year. I came in and we won the thing. So I would imagine that all of that, it played out very publicly and very bizarrely, especially with Bob Myers and Steve Kerr, where they thought kind of they were at the king of the castle and that anything that they said wouldn't go wrong, and it kind of blew up in their face.
Daily, we're brought to you by Advanaclean. Remember, Advanaclean is online. Water, fire, or mold damage around the house or the office, get in touch with them. Advanaclean is online, ADVANTA clean.com. Get in touch with Bradley Lynch and his crew over there at Advanaclean. Let them help you out getting the water, fire, or mold damage repaired today. Find them online at ADVANTA clean.com. Get in touch with Bradley Lynch and tell him you heard it here on the Jordy Culotta Show. We're going to dig into some of these tacos.
Finally.
We are going to get and talk to Ben Mintz next here on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Go Chevrolet is proud to announce Go Express Auto Sales, the new used car lot located in the capital city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, at 11522 Florida Boulevard. Go Express Auto Sales is online at goexpressautosales.com, or you can search them on Facebook and social media at Go Express Auto Sales, the newest addition to the family of Go Chevrolet. Remember, Go Chevrolet is located down in Laplace, Louisiana, but now welcoming aboard Go Express, the new used car lot located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at 11522 Florida Boulevard. True Blue Water, true hydration at its finest. Right now, you're only a few minutes away from getting your 5-gallon water delivered to you, just like we are over here at the UDL. All you got to do is log on to truebluewater.com. That's TRU, bluewater.com. The website's fantastic over at truebluewater.com. You can get your service and find out how quick it is. You can schedule a delivery, even hop on the billing system right there at truebluewater.com. TRU, bluewater.com. Papa Earl's, the fine spice, originating right down here in South Louisiana by our guy Mark Pop Norman. Developed it back in 2018 and won Amazon's Newcomer of the Year in 2019. They pride themselves in having 30% less salt and sodium than the leading brands at the same price point. You can find them locally. Look for Papa Earl's at Rouse's, Calandro's, Mathern's, High Neighbor, and more. Gearing up for spring and summer down here in South Louisiana, and you want to keep your lawn maintained during these sunny seasons, get in touch with our friend Blake Abear over at Abear's Lawn Maintenance, where he says, you grow it, I mow it. 225-485-8022. 225-485-8022 is where you can find Abear's Lawn and Maintenance, the official lawn and maintenance company of the Undisclosed Location. Abear's Specialty Meats, home to the finest boudin in South Louisiana. 2 spots right here in Baton Rouge and out in Prairieville. Stop in and see them in the Dutchtown Shopping Center on Highway 73 or right here in Baton Rouge on Jefferson Highway. Online, abearsmarkets.com, and they're all over social media. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Instagram. Abear's combines perfect seasoning with that authentic Cajun flavor. Find out for yourself. Baton Rouge on Jefferson Highway and in Prairieville on Highway 73. abearsmarkets.com. Go Chevrolet is proud to announce Go Express Auto Sales, the new used car lot located in the capital city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana at 11522 Florida Boulevard. Go Express Auto Sales is online at goexpressautosales.com, or you can search them on Facebook and social media at Go Express Auto Sales, the newest addition to the family of Go Chevrolet. Remember, Go Chevrolet is located down in LaPlace, Louisiana, but now welcoming aboard Go Express, the new used car lot located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at 11522 Florida Boulevard. Inhaling this taco.
This man put extra chips on his taco.
He was going to make that thing into nachos, damn it.
Yeah, y'all thought it wasn't a nacho.
Bro.
Yeah. Well, he was looking out for the tooth.
Benny Mintz, who's from Barstool. Barstool Benny or Barstool Ben.
Bayou Ben.
Bayou Ben.
Bayou Ben. Why am I messing that up? Ben.
This Quincy Wiggins has is all kerfuffled.
Yeah.
I feel like we went to the Dead Show the other night. I feel like I was at the Dead Show with Ben. Ben, how was the move, Ben, to New Jersey? I thought the dog picture the other night was great. Got a lot of good social media feedback on that.
The Billy football experiment's going to be something starting on Monday. That's for sure. He decided I'm going to be his personal guinea pig on his health and fitness journey. So this should be fun.
What's your plan?
I don't really know, but he's got to be a bunch of supplements, and I know there's going to be. I'm going to just do what I'm told and hope it works.
Any needles?
No needles. No, that's where I'll put my foot down. But yeah, it's good. I'm just getting settled out here in Hoboken. I'm enjoying it, man. The vibe in Hoboken's great. Super clean. Still a lot of good food options. You can take the PATH train. Take like 15 minutes to get to Manhattan. That ain't no thing. So enjoying that so far, and really just getting closer to football season. And somebody was laughing. I heard a dad comment a second ago. Stu Feiner hooked me up a sweet ticket for I'm going to Citi Field for Dad tonight in New York. That's gonna be awesome.
What a life.
Live
Stu Feiner,
music,
that's a bed to get in with. Stu's a guy.
Good crew in the suite.
Yeah, a couple Barstool guys. Yeah, it'll be fun, man. And I think they have Big Ev going. Can't wait, man. It's going to be fun. Stu's not making it, which is a little bum. But, even if you say sweet ticket and dead, you're not going to get a note from me very often. So, very, very pumped about that. And then, like I said, just getting ready. I mean, week 0 next Saturday, and before we know it, it'll be full board football.
Mincy, the success of Barstool Sports. I was reading David Blattman, who puts out he's over at Barstool, and he put out a tweet on some of the top U.S. sports creators media by unique views in the month of June. And Barstool Sports had nearly 10 million more views than the WWE, Bleacher Report, House of Bounce, WWE Network. What is it like to be a part of the machine right now of Barstool Sports, it seems like it's at the center of the sports world. It seems like it's at the center of more worlds than just sports right now.
Yeah, well, it's funny you mentioned that was June. I had a lot of responsibility for that during the College World Series.
Absolutely.
I feel like I was responsible for a couple million of those, which is pretty wild to think about. That Jack Leiter video got like 1.5 million. But yeah, it's just crazy, Jordy. Like I just like, yeah, it's so mind blowing how big this is, and you know, I'm just getting. I mean, I'm almost a year in. I'm 9 months in, 10 months in. I'm still just blown away by it because you forget how big it really is. And I think part of it is like being up here in New York. Maybe, you know, I get recognized some for sure, but like when I get out on the road, it's just the craziest thing I've ever seen. And it's testament to what Dave Portnoy built. And I'm just like very happy and grateful to be a small part of the machine. And, you know, I still think the thing about it is as big as it's getting, it's still growing.
Yeah.
And then also mentioned today, I want to mention on this show is they're fast tracking the Louisiana sports gambling, shooting for October on that now too. So I'm keeping a close eye on that.
Yeah, Mitzi, I believe I told you I was at an event a couple of weeks ago, and you saw all of the paraphernalia start to come in. I mean, you saw the merchandise starting to drop down onto LaBerge's campus with the Barstool logo and some of the merchandise that'll be available once this thing goes live. So there is a lot of excitement, a lot of people kind of gearing up for what the fall is going to look like, what the fall is going to feel like with sports gaming being live. What is your plan for fall? Well,
okay, so as of right now, I hate to even talk about COVID on here, but the Delta thing is going to come to. It didn't really hit the York card yet, but it's coming. And so it's kind of hard to make any plans a couple months in advance right now because of it. I've put in a request to try to come south before to LSU, and LSU won't miss in October, but we'll see. Big thing for me, we launched the Fantasy Football Factory pod this week with Stephen Shea and I, and we're getting really positive feedback. The gambling house is going to be in Hoboken, really like a 5-minute walk from me, it sounds like, with us launching in New Jersey. So, I'm probably just going to be hanging out over there watching a lot of football this weekend, to be truthful. But I hope I make it south at some point.
Derek Stingley and Max Johnson are both plus 5,000 at the Heisman Trophy window. What are you looking at as far as futures about this time of the year? Everybody's now talking about futures in this part of the world because of what Joe Burrow did a couple of years ago and what that payback was on his Heisman odds. Do you bet things like that? Do you look at those numbers in the preseason?
I will, but I don't. Burrow is 200 to 1 in some spots. Yeah. Man, he broke some people. That was. I don't have any opinion on the 50 to 1s. The thing with LSU, I think LSU is going to be good. I'm up here fighting for them. It's funny because Brandon Walker's dogging on LSU, and he's like super pro A&M, and I'm strongly saying that rumors of LSU's football program demise are greatly exaggerated. I think Max is going to be good. Mm-hmm. And boy, Butte, man, whew, still can't get over the 300-yard game in that monsoon, basically in December against Ole Miss. So I don't know about Heisman, but I think LSU is going to be very good, and I'm looking forward to seeing a bounce back from the Tigers this year.
What's the feeling around your Rebels now here a couple of weeks into camp?
Man, people are pumped. Feel really good about the opener against Louisville. Louisville's struggling. I think they're headed the wrong way. That line was 8.5 or 9. Now it's 10.5. I think there's a chance Ole Miss beats the crap out of them. The big thing for Ole Miss, you just never know on the injury front. I think the front line talent's very good. The second and third units don't quite have the depth yet. So a lot of it's going to be dodging injuries, but feel very good about it. Supposedly the defense could just improve some. You got to feel really good about the offense, the rushing attack, and Matt Corral. I'd over under 7.5. I think there's a chance if things break right, the refs can win 8 or 9, but the big thing is dodging the injury thing. I keep coming back to that. But should get off to a good start with Louisville, Austin Peay, and Tulane. And then you get a early bye week, which is interesting, before the trip to Bama October 2nd. So looking forward to the Monday night showcase on Labor Day Monday night against Louisville. It's a big opportunity for the program.
Mintz, you mentioned that Louisville game, and I'm starting to think LSU, UCLA, Ole Miss, Louisville, little LSU, Ole Miss teaser action, a little 6.5. Buy it, put it together. Is that a little 2-team teaser I might be interested in?
Maybe. I think I'd rather just take Ole Miss laying the points. The LSU, and I feel like LSU should pull it out.
Moneyline parlay?
Yeah, LSU's got a lot of – UCLA does have a lot of experience. They've lost a bunch of close games the last couple of years. I don't think that's, like, the easiest game necessarily, but I do think they'll win. But I think I feel better about Ole Miss. I just think Louisville's bad. Their defense is trash. Malik Cunningham turns the ball over. And that game being on a neutral site on fast track, I think favors Ole Miss. So, look, I'm not going against LSU week 1, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a big road favorite guy. That's a cross-country trip, so I think I'm going to take Ole Miss and just sit back and watch LSU.
What is the feeling in New York City around Daniel Jones and Zach Wilson, the respective quarterbacks for the Giants? Jones with the G-Men and Wilson, the first-round pick, the second overall pick to the New York Jets.
Well, what's interesting about the Giants you bring up is you see their new offensive line coaches, Jordy?
Rob Sale.
Yeah, some Monroe's taking over the Big Apple.
I saw that.
Watch out!
I saw
that. But no, the Giants thing, it's put up or shut up time for Daniel Jones. But what's interesting for them is like you look at this Giants bunch and you see Saquon and Evan Ingram, and then they sign Kenny Galladay and they draft Kadarius Toney from Florida, and you think, damn, man, on paper they got some weapons. But these guys are never. They're always hurt. Barkley's always out. He's saying week 3 now, coming off that major injury. Evan Ingram can't stay healthy. Galladay's already out 3 or 4 weeks with a hamstring injury. He's had multiple hamstring problems going back to Detroit. Always in trouble staying on the field. And Rob Sale, he doesn't have an easy task because that offensive line was quite horrible last year. And then to get installed right before the season, coming out of college, it's not easy. So I feel like there's a lot of pressure on Daniel Jones this year, but I kind of have some questions about some other stuff on that offense. And the Zach Wilson thing is going to be interesting. I don't think there's a lot of expectations there. Nobody thinks the Jets are good. But Wilson's got LaFleur, the Green Bay coach. His brother is the offensive coordinator. And so, I think they're going to try to run the ball, do a lot of play actions, rollouts, kind of run a lot of similar stuff to seen Rodgers running Green Bay, and I guess kind of what Kyle Shanahan runs in San Fran. So they need to try to run the ball and give him some help. But the one word out of New York Jets camp is Elijah Moore is putting on a show. And I just need to get over it. Jordy, you were with me draft night. I'm still so salty. He's not safe.
Yes, that's right.
It's just one of those things, and especially when you look at the Mike Thomas thing being out, Saints current receiving core thing. But, I obviously – as fans, we're all playing fantasy football in our minds more, But, so Elijah Moore is looking good, and I'm looking forward to following his career. But this is put up or shut up time for the Giants. I expect Wilson to have a much longer leash.
Speaking of fantasy football, Mintzy, of course, you are hosting a fantasy football podcast at Barstool Sports. We are starting a fantasy football league here within the show, and we need you a part of it, and we want to tie this thing all together when we do our Friday night. We do our Friday segment. So we will have Noah send your invitation. If you want to accept. I'd imagine that you probably get offered to be in a lot of fantasy leagues.
Yeah, I have. Let me think on it, but
yes.
it'd be fun, especially with me being part of the show.
We hope we can crack it to the top 3.
Man, see, what are we going to talk about on Fridays if you're not in the league? Come on, dude.
Oh, man, we're going to be doing them gambling picks on Friday, man. It's a long lineage tradition. That tradition is to be year 5 with Jordy.
That's right, man. Golly, 5 years, Mintzy.
I know, yeah. It's so crazy.
Nathan Velasquez is sitting right next to us. It's wild to think about.
It's funny, too, thinking about Jordy, because I remember I called in from Grambling, Louisiana before. That'd be at in Bossier. I was calling into the segments, and God knows where now sitting in Manhattan.
It's wild to think about, Mintzy. Keep up the success, bro. Best of luck, and enjoy the suite tonight at City Field.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, bro, that's going to be great.
Need them dad vibes before football season. And sounds good. Thank y'all for having me, and I look forward to coming on every Friday.
Yes, sir. Fun. There is Ben Mintz checking in from New York City. Couple of yawns.
He just has his own speed, dude.
Not as many, not as weird on the way out. I mentioned that Nathan Velasquez here, the 5-minute critic, is in the building. He will be on the blue couch here in mere seconds, giving us breakdown and a little bit about his travel. But first, let me tell you about Nevadis. Nevadis is, of course, the best in web design, the best in mobile design. If you need today a web design for your company, for anything that you're working on, philanthropy, let Nevadis take care of that for you. They are, of course, the vision and the creative minds behind JordyCulottaShow.com, the brand new website, and we are thrilled with the turnout. We've gotten great feedback, and a lot of that has been taken care of real time by Randall and his crew. Randall Nachman over at Nevadis. Get in touch with them. They're online at Nevadis.com. If they can help you out with web design, mobile app design, let them do that today. They are the best. Nevadis is right here in Baton Rouge. They're over at the Tech Park, but find them online at Nevadis.com to get your web design today here from the Jordy Culotta Show. When we come back, Nathan Velasquez in studio here, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. What happened? Papa Earl's, the fine spice, originating right down here in South Louisiana by our guy Mark Pop Norman. Developed it back in 2018 and won Amazon's Newcomer of the Year in 2019. They pride themselves in having 30% less salt and sodium than the leading brands at the same price point. You can find them locally. Look for Papa Earl's at Rouse's, Calandro's, Mathern's, High Neighbor, and more. True Blue Water, true hydration at its finest. Right now, you're only a few minutes away from getting your 5-gallon water delivered to you, just like we are over here at the UDL. All you got to do is log on to truebluewater.com. That's TRU, bluewater.com. The website's fantastic over at truebluewater.com. You can get your service and find out how quick it is. You can schedule a delivery, even hop on the billing system right there at truebluewater.com. TRU, bluewater.com. Go Chevrolet is proud to announce Go Express Auto Sales, the new used car lot located in the capital city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana at 11522 Florida Boulevard. Go Express Auto Sales is online at goexpressautosales.com, or you can search them on Facebook and social media at Go Express Auto Sales, the newest addition to the family of Go Chevrolet. Remember, Go Chevrolet is located down in LaPlace, Louisiana, but now welcoming aboard Go Express, the new used car lot located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at 11522 Florida Boulevard. Go Flow IV and Spa, 7970 Jefferson Highway is where you can find them, or you can simply go online to goflowiv.com. Go Flow IV Spa is a medical spa that specializes in IV hydration with vitamin infusion. At GoFlow IV Spa, they can help you with a wide range of issues, from skin care to illness recovery, athletic performance, hangover cure, chronic illness, and even chronic dehydration. GoFlowIV.com or stop in and see them, 7970 Jefferson Highway. Welcome back to a Friday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show. Shout out to Modesto and our guy Sean over there for bringing in some food this morning. It was fantastic.
But no margaritas.
was
What the hell
fantastic.
was that about?
He's hungover.
That man just got back from Las
He's
Vegas. He
hungover.
can't even look
I mean-
liquor in the eye.
I know,
and
but
I've
we like
never
to drink
seen
on
him not look
Fridays.
liquor in the eye.
Yes,
So
it was a very
I'm out and ready to
it was a
party.
very selfish
clearly.
play by Sean, but I get it. I
you can't touch
understand
his,
it.
can't touch his
I
stuff.
understand it.
Well, so Lloyd, he's your brother, right? That was your brother, Sean.
Biologically, yeah.
Biologically, your brother.
Yes.
So your mom
Better
is,
looking brother?
I'm
I would
not.
say,
I'm
yeah.
not. He's on the show. I'm not going to come in here and throw dirt at
Sean
him.
is better looking than I am. He's very good at like keeping himself up, and I'm the opposite.
So your mom's a
No.
professional chef. Your brother's a professional chef.
Here we
How
go.
are you
Yes,
in the kitchen?
yes.
See, the thing is, I'm okay. I can get by, but once they get into the kitchen, there's no room for me.
Yeah.
Too
Too many
many
chefs.
cooks in the kitchen.
Yes.
So I
Too many
have.
chefs.
I was pawned off at an early age to make my dad laugh on the couch while they cooked.
Oh, okay.
So that's how this entire personality, I think, developed. I think that if I went to therapy, that would probably be like,
Yes.
why are you the way you are? It's like I would think it's that.
Pinpoint those
Yes,
holidays.
but it's a good thing. I feel like.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
you're the comedian. That's an
Right,
important.
I'm
Right.
just a court jester. They toss me out there, make
I love
dad
how Katie
laugh.
felt sorry for you.
I feel like I want to talk more about this
Golly,
later.
you're
No, I
such
like
a
it.
sla-
Like,
you're
I
such
mean-
a slapdick.
Yeah, I am a slapdick. But when you think about it, like I had the best job of all
thought you
time.
could
I've
just
got
get
my
by.
feet up on the couch. I got Russell T right behind me on his couch, and we're just belly laughing at the TV.
Yeah.
While they're slaving away in the kitchen.
Right.
So I feel like I won on that regard, but I can cook a little bit.
Okay, cool.
I have
Yeah, yeah.
some skills, but when it gets to that's like expert level stuff in there, I'm out.
That was a long-winded answer with a
That
lot of
was.
pain in it.
That was. I know.
There's a lot of
Like,
pain
we need to
in
get
it.
you on
There's
this
a-
couch.
Never thought
There's
about
a
it
lot of
before.
pain
I
in
never
there
got my mom to
somewhere.
love me because I wasn't cooked.
She
So
likes
it was-
Sean more than me,
so
and
sad.
Tim likes me more than Sean.
As soon as people
Very-
started to show up, I got thrown out of the kitchen.
I never wanted to be in there,
right.
Mom.
That is Nathan Velasquez. He's back in the studio. It's great to see him here at the UDL. Great to see you, buddy. How was your travel?
Good to see you. It was good. Non-eventful. Non-eventful.
Okay.
Just layover. I ended up sharing the flight from Charlotte to Baton Rouge with Gordy Rush. That was interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Noticed him getting off the plane. So I didn't shout at him on the plane. I know
Yeah.
that makes people a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
Caught up with him
For
a little
sure.
bit.
You
Probably
didn't have to
wouldn't-
tape him to the chair.
Didn't have to tape. None of that action was going on. That was a bizarre. I feel like there was a week there where people were getting unruly on planes. Like there was someone.
Yeah.
They had to beat up one guy. They had to tape a guy to a
Tape him.
chair.
Tape him to the chair, which he fully deserved, and I think
Yeah,
should be
absolutely,
a consequence that we
absolutely.
start putting out there. Nathan, the scariest video I've seen in the last 2 weeks was at an ATM machine in New York last Sunday where the guy got attacked by a hatchet.
What?
I don't.
Have you seen this?
No.
This is in your hometown.
Can you play it, Lloyd?
Where is it?
This was in Manhattan.
Was this in the
Jeez.
document?
But I saw it. I mean, I'm sure people out there have seen it because it's now become like a viral
Did he
social
did he
media.
hatchet the person?
I mean, it is a video.
This was last week.
This was last Sunday.
Last Sunday.
This is a guy standing
Nate
at the
started to sweat.
ATM
Did I get
like
noticed?
Sunday morning at like before noon. He's just going through his typical deal, and some guy walks up behind him and like pulls something out of his back and just thrashes. And the guy immediately is like, he's like, oh my God. I mean, I'm getting.
oh my
Being
god.
impaled by a hatchet.
But I'm telling you, some of the images that have come out from it are.
I have not
just
seen that.
Well, what was
frightening.
the end result?
Did he die?
He did not die, and they ultimately caught the perpetrator.
Was it
but
Michael
a couple
Myers?
of days later, it was somebody who has got a criminal record that
No way.
he's done this. Yeah, right.
Is he a hatchet guy? Is that his like?
That's kind of his deal. Like
his
he's done
preferred
this
method?
before. He's done this
Oh.
before.
Well, on
Wow.
Tuesday there was Noah's got it here. Look at that. He's showing it right there.
That's the hatchet guy?
Well, it was.
That's like
What is he
Ian
doing?
my
Is
God.
he's just full on.
Oh my
pulling.
God! He was the legs.
He went right.
Oh.
What was the strategy there?
I don't know.
I mean,
I thought you meant on the
I guess
street.
people can't see this, but he went at the ATM with the hatchet. I guess trying to think he'd get
Run,
into
bro,
it,
run.
and then
I'm
he's
pulling it
attacking
up.
the other guy.
I mean, just
Whoa.
crazy world, man.
It's like an indoor ATM area
Yes, he's
too.
locked in. I mean, it's a
Wow.
big old dude too, man.
Well, that's no, this is not nothing. But, there was a shooting in Times Square on Tuesday.
Oh,
Just
God.
kind of hit like a booth. And then there was a bomb scare. Times Square was evacuated yesterday. So this is small potatoes right here. This hatchet in the ATM.
No, I didn't hear about that. Of course not.
It's an easy Tuesday in New York City.
Hatchets are nothing.
It's a
I carry a hatchet
back page news story in Manhattan.
Speaking of books, maybe the last book I read, The Hatchet.
I've never read that. Which one is that? Wait, this feels like one of those like Call to the Wild that comes up when you're a kid.
100% a school book that you have to read. You've never read The Hatchet?
No, I don't think I didn't.
I think it might be the most read book.
I feel like I was supposed to one summer and then didn't.
Yeah,
It's the most read. I think it's Kill Mockingbird.
Yes.
Yeah,
I thought that got canceled.
Did it really?
No, it didn't get canceled.
Also,
Our
did that
kids
get
read it last
canceled?
year. That didn't get canceled.
Nathan, Johnny Depp says Hollywood is locking him out. Is
weird.
Freezing him out.
Well,
Do you believe this?
the point about the Johnny Depp story, which is very weird, there were actually 2 interviews this month that I think encapsulate the problem. Well, maybe might be better to say shows how Hollywood is shooting itself in the foot right now. There was an interview with Johnny Depp and Matt Damon. The interview with Johnny Depp, they pretty much asked him, and this was in the Times, they asked Johnny Depp, how does it feel that you are in smaller budget movies? I mean, he's been in court cases, so like the flavor of reporting on Johnny Depp is not great right now.
Right.
But they were asking, how does it feel? You're in smaller movies now. And his response was, I'm honestly not concerned because the people that really pay my salary are my fans and people that love movies. So as long as I star in things and people like me, they pay my salary. And he went on to then say that people in Hollywood have pretty much forgotten that it's not about the stars. It's about people that go to see the movies, people that buy stuff on demand, people that still want to buy physical media. And he made a very, if you want to read the article, he makes a lot of eloquent points about how Hollywood doesn't really care about the audience anymore. Kind of what we were talking about a few weeks ago with the Oscars. And the interview does not, it puts it at the very bottom, this quote, but they take that line, the line of, I'm not concerned because the fans are the people that really pay all of us. And then the title is, Johnny Depp misses fame and is an outcast from Hollywood. So it's just this like, and Matt Damon did the same thing. Matt Damon did an interview wherever he said, the problem in Hollywood right now is that there are no adult movies. No movies for adults. Kind of like used to have things like Midnight Cowboy, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Shawshank Redemption. Stuff that's like, kids can watch it, but they're for adults really. And then, well, I forget who it was that was reporting on that. Maybe IndieWire. But they took that, and then the headline of the story was, Matt Damon sad that there's no place in Hollywood for a leading man. And it's just, what are we doing here? And these were if you look at movie news,
clickbait, right?
It's full on. Well, it's not. I don't mind clickbait at all, as long as like if the headline is a salacious encapsulation of what the person is saying, then it's like okay, then I'll read. But if it's like, if Matt Damon is talking about a problem ABC and you report on 1, 2, 3, like it's not the same thing at all. And if you have headlines like this. If you have headlines where you have actual stars in Hollywood reporting on problems, but you actually don't want to talk about those problems, you just want to turn it into clickbait, then it's like, it's the same thing with how the Oscars, like people don't watch the Oscars because they're not fun and they don't give awards to movies that people actually want to see. But they say all the time that the problem is political reasons, and I don't think the reasons that they give are very important. It's just that it's not entertaining. It's just totally missing the point of why people don't care to interact with movies. Right. It's all TV shows. And it's sad. It was sad to see people in Hollywood addressing real problems, and then people that are supposed to report on this stuff, they just turn it into clickbait that doesn't even address the actual issue. Yes. So it's kind of sad.
HBO Max is one of my favorite streaming services.
Me too. It's so good.
It does. It's very good. It's got a great selection. They're experiencing some drama right now.
They're experiencing some drama, and honestly, the way things are heating up right now between the creatives and the executives over at Warner Brothers and HBO Max are the same thing. So the tension there is a lot like the tension that was going on before the writer's strike. Do y'all remember the TV writer's strike, in the late 2000s, 2010s? It's early, like in the height of the pandemic, HBO Max announced we're going to do day-and-day release. Like, it comes in the theaters, goes on HBO Max. Makes sense. We're all kind of in a funk. We're all at home.
Right.
Now,
Space Jam.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a bit of a concern. Okay, there's a large concern. People like Christopher Nolan, the director of Dune, the director of Matrix 4, they're all coming out and they're like, okay, we're kind of on the tail end, what feels like the tail end of this pandemic. And this is kind of what defined that Scarlett Johansson lawsuit that we talked about a few weeks ago. Yeah. You are undermining the integrity of movies that are meant to be seen on the big screen. Like Dune and the new Matrix movie. Those are meant to be seen. Epic. Like, this is not... Can you imagine if all of a sudden, I don't know, who's the president of LSU right now? What's his name?
William Tate.
If he says, William Tate comes out and says, look, we're just not gonna... We're gonna put it on TV. We're gonna make it so you pay $5. Everyone can watch it at their home. But you can't come into the stadium. No Tiger Stadium. We're just not gonna do that. People are rightly pissed off by that. And I think that it's coming to a head because it's affecting the creatives' money. It's violating contracts, and it's also just it's undermining the event status of these huge movies. And I think that right now it's a short-term win for Warner Brothers and HBO Max, but I think that they are probably there's a chicken coming home to roost, and I think a lot of people are going to walk away from Warner Brothers.
Do we recognize, is there a category? If there is not, will there be a category that names best streaming service? Do you think that there will be something that ultimately... Kind
of like if the Oscars will have a best streaming service
like
type
Netflix,
thing?
Warner Brothers.
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like that level of conversation of who's going to win an award, I feel like in 5 years that's going to be seen as old hat. I don't think we're going to be as concerned about that. People have choice. People have total choice. I was talking about...
Magazine and newspapers. I mean, at one point they dominated. Now
I was talking about this with someone last night, how if you look at the amount of money that Netflix makes every single month, just from all of us... Well, all of us have... We all give money to Netflix, or we're using someone's account that's giving money to Netflix.
But I think we all have our own individual accounts. I mean, we do hijack certain accounts, but we all have Netflix, right?
Yeah. The amount of people, if everyone in the world had the basic Netflix plan, Netflix each month gets $1.5 billion. That is money that Warner Brothers praise that they get one movie a year that hits that. Netflix gets that money every single month.
But don't they use all that money and turn it right back into putting content right back out?
The thing is, pretty much every single year, Netflix will use 1 month's worth of income to produce the content for the next year.
Wow.
So that's 11 months of nothing but the green coming in. Wow. Like if we're talking about
what a business model.
No, that's the thing. If we're talking about who's going to be seen, like this whole idea of who's the best, who's going to get the award for being the best. It's kind of like I don't think people care about that anymore. It's just who's out there making the money and who's out there getting the eyeballs.
That's fair. That's true. I mean, the way once you think of it.
I mean, that's the way to do it, right?
Yes.
That's crazy.
And I think everyone's just so far behind. Like Disney and HBO Max are playing catch up really well, but they're still playing catch up. Like it's tough, and they're in this huge.
And Netflix is just lapping everybody.
Yeah, I mean I think that if you talk to most people, I think they say it's just superhero movies, so that's what's hurting because it's just like one category that makes these traditional studios all this money. But I think the biggest problem is no one knew that Netflix was coming. I mean, like, I think Blockbuster was the first victim of this. Yes. I think right now the other studios are becoming a victim of it just because they can't make the money. Yes. And now when they do this, they're like, well, where can we get an edge? We've got the new Christopher Nolan movie. We've got Matrix 4. We've got Space Jam. We'll do a day-and-day release. They're getting lawsuits from that stuff because, talent's kind of like, hey, we're living on a business model that's been around for the last 100 years. You turned it around in the middle of a pandemic, and now I'm losing out on my box office money. Like, there's just so much, and yet Netflix is over here, and they're like, well, we're doing our own thing. We're doing our own thing. We're fine.
That's why you should come over here and make movies.
Christopher Nolan has been with Warner Brothers. Like that, very rarely do directors get relationships with massive studios like that, where it's like, make all your movies with us. That's what Christopher Nolan's done. Warner Brothers and him, they're pretty much married. Now Netflix is courting him. The CEO of Netflix said that it is his mission this year to get Christopher Nolan to sign on to exclusively work with Netflix. If they lose Christopher Nolan over at Warner Brothers like that, it's story after story. Every month there's something new that's like the traditional way of making movies is
some type of death blow.
It's some type of death blow. I don't know what that is going to look like, but it's a big change.
I have not seen the movie. I know that you were breaking down the movie, but when I see the trailer for it, it freaks me out, and that is old.
The trailer is really creepy.
It is super creepy. It is super creepy. Have you seen this?
Yes.
Where you age like every 45 minutes.
Yeah, what was the movie? Was it Gravity or Interstellar? Wherever they go into space and they come back. It's like it's been 45 years.
That
it's actually been 2 minutes.
I can't watch that scene with Matthew McConaughey wherever he realizes that he was gone for an hour and his daughter's 20 years older. But yeah, no, the old the trailer is so creepy, and actually it's in I guess 5 minutes. The review is going to premiere, so don't leave the Jordy Culotta show. But once the Jordy Culotta show is over, head over to 5 Minute Critic to watch the review. The idea is really creepy. The trailer's really creepy. The movie's really boring.
Oh, it is?
Really?
It's and this is M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Like, have y'all seen like The Happening?
Yes.
Yes.
All of
Or
them.
Glass?
Yes,
Okay. Like
everything.
I've not
him
seen
and Christopher
Glass.
Nolan are two of the like only people in Hollywood who can sell a movie just based on their name. Totally
Yeah.
original story.
Yeah.
They can sell it based on their name. And it's no secret, M. Night Shyamalan's made a lot of stinkers.
Yes.
But they're always entertaining. It's
Yeah.
always fun to laugh along with the movies that are terrible.
Yeah.
This is the first one that he's made where it's just
Nothing.
so boring. And he's got to stop it with the twist endings. It's not working. Like this.
Well, now you expect it. The twist is
You
not the
do
twist.
Well,
expect
that's
it.
part of the problem. And sometimes it works. I think with Split, I think he pulled it out of the bag with that one. Like, that was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, it's so, like, it technically works, but every time I think about it, it's like you were literally just inserting conversations in the movie that made no sense to justify your twist ending. It's
So
the
he
trailer's
drops
creepy. The
little
trailer's
crumbs.
so creepy. But then when you watch it, it's like,
Golly.
oh, this doesn't add up. Like, this doesn't really work. And it's then at that point, you're just looking at your watch and it's like, okay, oh, that's the twist,
So I'm like,
and there
I
you
wasn't
go.
gonna watch it. I feel like the trailer gave me anxiety alone. Just
Yeah,
like it has to be edge of your seat.
I
but
feel
it's
like that
not.
would have been no, it's not. It's not. It's pretty funny because like you would think that a movie like this obviously has its own rules. How does it
Yeah.
work? Like okay, and they have done a ton of situations that you might not think about, like the dog that's on the beach first spoiler. The dog goes incredibly quickly because apparently it just
Well, 7 years.
yeah. So they're gone in like 30 minutes. So like they're cool. There's cool little ideas that happen. It's like, I guess if you did age quickly, that would happen. But then it focuses on these rules so much throughout the thing. It's like, but wait, if that person experienced that, then wouldn't this person be? And then it's like, oh, I guess I'm noticing all this stuff because it's just so dull.
Hollywood.
Is this
Yeah,
Is this a case of the movie or the trailer is the movie? Or like if you see the trailer, you're like, all right, I
The
kinda
trailer's
get
a
it.
better movie.
Right.
The trailer's a better
Like
version
Medellin
of the movie.
and Entourage.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But
I never finished Entourage.
you
Oh,
don't
you
have
got
to.
to.
Yeah.
If you got through like season 5, you're good.
Season
No.
three.
Speaking of
Finish it, watch the
3A,
movie.
3B. Oof. Trailers. Candyman. I am absolutely
That trailer is terrifying. Like
I'm not
the-
gonna watch it. It scared me too much.
The trailer to
I'm
old is
sa-
kind of
I'm
like,
scared
whoa,
to
that
say
would
the
suck if
words.
that happened. Yeah, me too. I was like, there's no way I can see this because I'm going to go home and I'm going to say
Don't
that
say it.
word in the mirror 3 times. I
Yeah.
never saw. Have y'all seen the original? I've
Yeah.
never seen it.
Yeah.
I have not. I'm not.
How
Just,
is
I'm
it?
just not
The
down.
original
with scary
didn't
movies.
scare me. I mean, it was funny to me. It was like fun. I mean, it was creepy,
Yeah.
but like
You're a
fun
lunatic.
horror. But
Yes.
this one looks.
Is it
much
Jordan
scarier.
Poole? Isn't it? He did.
He's the producer and it's his studio. I forget who is directing it, but oh man, that looks so
Is that
scary.
the-
I'm not
creepy.
in on that. It's too scary.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna
There's a
have to see
line.
that.
There's a fine line where I love like a
I'm out on scary
thriller,
movies, bro.
but that looks like an absolute horror movie.
Hey,
That looks
it
terrifying,
is.
and it might happen.
For what? Why?
For what? Yeah.
Why?
So I can't sleep for a week.
Why?
It's
So I walk
entertainment.
into the room and hit the light switch before my body enters.
I can't even go to the bathroom and look in the mirror anymore.
I mean,
I haven't been able to do that for
I don't
years.
know what y'all are talking about, but obviously there's some word out there that's gonna make a lot of shit go crazy, and that's why I'm out. That's-
Candyman.
Candyman.
It's Candyman.
That's
Oh
how I'm out.
God! It's 3 times.
What if the lights went out right
That's
now?
it, Nathan. Get out of here.
Ooh, man. Ooh, man.
What brings you back home?
Just
Family?
visiting.
No,
visiting
what?
family and
Good
friends.
for you, bro. Good for you.
Also, I heard, Ben Mintz is in Hoboken. That's a
Yeah.
great
Yes.
spot. That's
Is
a
it?
cool spot. Yeah.
Is it?
It's right across the river, so you walk outside and you see the skyline.
So,
That's
are
awesome.
you looking forward to fall and winter, or are you kind of coming out of spring and summer
I don't
and
know.
thinking, yeah,
I
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
snow. I'm excited to walk through New York with it just being complete, like totally
White.
covered in snow.
Yes.
I'm a 15-minute walk from Central Park, and so like
wow.
being able to be in Central Park when it's covered in snow, I'm so excited for that. But I'm also expecting that at day 10, it's going to be like,
Yeah.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ,
I've seen
what's
it.
going on
I've
here?
seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
So I don't know. It's going to be fun, but I don't know what to expect. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
No car yet, right? Any car in the city? Do you have a
Oh,
car?
no, I don't have a
Yeah.
need for.
No,
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 I
no.
sold that in L.A. and now I'm just on the subway.
Jesus.
Yes.
I saw that.
I didn't make any like real money off it. It wasn't a Rolls Royce.
When I was in LA, I sold my car. Is Peacoat still the play in New York City? Is that like just forever fashion for? Like,
I
the
got
winter?
there in the middle of June, so I
No,
don't
I'm
know
saying
if I
once you
should.
prep for winter.
Oh, I don't know. I probably would have done that when I
That
was
is-
like 15
that
or
is a
16.
Lloyd vanity question.
That is.
That
Well,
is a
because I
Lloyd.
feel like that's what they do in New York City. It's all very like fashion forward and like you have to look cool when it's cold. In Louisiana, when it gets cold, we throw on
Well,
like
everybody
6
hides.
sweatshirts.
Everybody
like,
hides.
Yeah, we had run your pipes.
Nobody comes out.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're like prepared with their style.
I might see kind of what the vibe is after. I'll have like a a coat that I've got with me. Maybe I'll see what the style is like, and then I'll be like, okay, I don't want to look like a full-on tourist with like what are you doing wearing that thing? We don't do that. We were wearing that in movies in the 50s.
LA transplant.
Like a
Exactly.
long wool trench.
Exactly. Yeah.
Have you done the beach scene up there? Have you done?
Jersey Shore. I've been to Jersey Shore. I'd love to go to the Hamptons. People always
How
talk
far
about
is that?
It's like 3 hours.
Really? Yeah, I heard it's like a trek.
It is. Like when I was talking to Ben Mintz, he said that he went to the Hamptons, that it was like 3 hours, and I was like, wait, really? That seems like that's the whole day. Like that's almost the whole weekend.
Yeah, it is.
But is that
traveling.
because, did you go in the jitney? Is that because the bus, like, is it slower?
I forget how he said that he got. I think they drove. I don't know if there's like I think there's a ferry that you can take, and it's
Yeah.
pretty expensive, and I think that'd be more fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm fine with just kind of the Jersey Shore right now.
I feel like a lot of people that go to the Hamptons take like a helicopter. And
Probably.
it's like a 35-minute
Yeah, I don't
trek.
think I can do that.
Because
Yeah.
I just see that from Succession. That's the only like
Love. Oh my gosh,
That's
that
the only
show is
thing I
so
know.
incredible. That's the thing. HBO
Yes.
Max is with the
telling
TV.
you.
Like
That's
that's
all he
so
watches
good.
is HBO Max.
Huh?
That's all he watches HBO Max. It's so good.
It's got a
incredible.
great selection.
They do
Oh,
have
it
a great
does.
selection.
It
Well, it's
does.
got great old movies, great TV, great new
Yeah.
movies.
Are
Yes.
you on White Lotus yet?
I finished White
Finished
Lotus.
it, too.
I was there for the final episode. That is whoa. Like
I'm not there yet.
Is it good?
Wait,
You
how?
haven't finished it?
Yeah, it's
It might
good.
be
Oh,
the
it's,
best
it's,
thing they put
it's
out.
weird. You've got if you're cool with like a funny, weird, uncomfortable vibe, then yeah.
Every
Did you
person-
finish it?
Yes, I finished it.
Jeez.
Yeah, everybody makes you uncomfortable in that
Everyone
show.
makes you uncomfortable. I loved Armand so much, but episode 4, my relationship with him, I didn't know what to do. Like, but that was wild.
I know.
It's a wild show.
Ah, it
They
is wild. You
Gave it
gotta
a
watch
season 2. It's gonna get a season 2 now.
it
I don't know how they
Yeah.
do a season
Good.
2.
I know.
They said it's gonna be like an anthology. So new hotel, new group of guests.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like American Horror Story.
Kind of like American Horror Story, but with
Okay.
kind of white collar people.
I mean, it's just the awkwardness of rich people is what that show is.
Yeah.
And that's the vibe I picked up from. I watched 3 episodes. So
Yeah.
Armand.
You're
and they're
3 episodes in.
Yes.
Watch the next one today at the very least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nate, it's great
will.
to see you, buddy.
Good to see you guys.
Tell the family hello. Glad you're home.
Absolutely. Thank you for the merch.
Yes, buddy. Enjoy it and safe travels home. Nathan Velasquez, the 5-minute critic. There is a review that is set to go up here in the next couple of minutes. So make sure that you get over to the 5-minute critic. If you are not subscribed there yet, make sure and get the subscription by just subscribing right there on the page. All of the social media is great with Nathan as well when you keep up with him. Daily, we're brought to you by Johnson and Spillers. They are our dentist in Gonzales and in Baton Rouge. They've got 2 locations, Pepera Avenue in Gonzales and Perkins Road here in Baton Rouge. Stop in and check out Johnson and Spillers, whether you need any type of general dentistry done, if you need pediatric dentistry, any of those types of options they can satisfy for you. They also offer Botox over at Johnson and Spillers, so get in touch with them there. They got social media. You can find out what's going on online, johnsonspillers.com, johnsonspillers.com. We'll close it out next here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Gearing up for spring and summer down here in South Louisiana, and you want to keep your lawn maintained during these sunny seasons, get in touch with our friend Blake Abear over at Abear's Lawn Maintenance, where he says, you grow it, I mow it. 225-485-8022. 225-485-8022 is where you can find Abear's Lawn and Maintenance, the official lawn and maintenance company of the Undisclosed Location. Papa Earl's, the fine spice, originating right down here in South Louisiana by our guy Mark Pop Norman. Developed it back in 2018 and won Amazon's Newcomer of the Year in 2019. They pride themselves in having 30% less salt and sodium than the leading brands at the same price point. You can find them locally. Look for Papa Earl's at Rouse's, Calandro's, Mathern's, High Neighbor, and more. True Blue Water, true hydration at its finest. Right now, you're only a few minutes away from getting your 5-gallon water delivered to you, just like we are over here at the UDL. All you got to do is log on to truebluewater.com. That's TRU, bluewater.com. The website's fantastic over at truebluewater.com. You can get your service and find out how quick it is. You can schedule a delivery, even hop on the billing system right there at truebluewater.com. TRU, bluewater.com. Go Chevrolet is proud to announce Go Express Auto Sales, the new used car lot located in the capital city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana at 11522 Florida Boulevard. Go Express Auto Sales is online at goexpressautosales.com, or you can search them on Facebook and social media at Go Express Auto Sales, the newest addition to the family of Go Chevrolet. Remember, Go Chevrolet is located down in Laplace, Louisiana, but now welcoming aboard Go Express, the new used car lot located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at 11522 Florida Boulevard. GoFlow IV and Spa, 7970 Jefferson Highway is where you can find them, or you can simply go online to goflowiv.com. GoFlow IV Spa is a medical spa that specializes in IV hydration with vitamin infusion. At GoFlow IV Spa, they can help you with a wide range of issues, from skin care to illness recovery, athletic performance, hangover cure, chronic illness, and even chronic dehydration. GoFlowIV.com or stop in and see them, 7970 Jefferson Highway. Yeah, bro. Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, live and presented by Ghost Chevrolet. Closing out this week. Very much thanks to everybody who interacts with our show. Like, share, comment. We appreciate that very much. As you can do that on Facebook. You can do that on YouTube. JordyCulottaShow.com. We've got gear over there that you can get before football season. We've got some purple and gold gear to get you ready for your tailgates. We have had our first interview with Keyshawn Butte. Booty calls. Lloyd and I are cutting it up behind the scenes, doing some production, but it's gonna work. This is gonna work, and we're in talks. And I mean, we're at the 1 yard line of closing our second name, image, and likeness deal here on the Jordy Culotta Show, which will probably be enough for us here in the football season.
And the good 1 yard line,
probably
not
just
the,
that one. Yes,
no. We're going 1 yard.
We've got
punch
1
it
foot to
in.
go, and it's first down.
Yeah,
we've got 4 tries
Easy.
here. We got 4 tries here.
Not Missouri.
No. And we've got a creative play caller. So we'll be okay on our second one. And that'll kind of be our deal here in football season. So we'll bring you some insight from local players and talk football with guys that you know, Keyshawn Butte being one of them for booty calls. And as soon as we are allowed to say the second name, we are looking forward to promote that one as well.
You get real creative with that second
we
name,
could,
too.
We could.
After
With both
booty
of them.
calls.
With both of them.
Well, you already got booty calls, but the second
Very
one
good.
is
I'm
just...
wondering how far I can
it
take
it is very good, yes. We can
It can go too
we can
far.
cross the line.
Yeah,
It can go
YouTube,
too far.
YouTube is
we can
son of a bitch.
we can cross the line. We can cross the line. But if we just get to the line and dabble, it could be beautiful.
That's where I like to
It could be
operate. That's
beautiful.
my
Yeah.
favorite
Could be-
space.
Me too, in the gray. In
Yes.
the gray. Just very gray. It's great to see Nathan Velasquez here. Nathan brings me back and us back to a time where we were in local radio together. And when Nathan and I were entering the field, or when I was in the field and Nathan became a part of the team, when we started to develop a video component to radio, we sat down as a group with the goal to be the most dominant radio show in the state of Louisiana. And while Nathan was aboard, I think we accomplished that with at least the ad sales, first and foremost, the money being spent on the show, and then the interest and the intrigue, that
was fun as hell.
The types of interaction that we would get. I mean, we were on the ticker for the NBA Finals when Zion Williamson's stepdad
Ooh,
we
was
beat
wild.
Stephen A. Smith and Shams from The Athletic to the Zion Williamson story because Zion's stepdad came on our radio show and said that he's not going back to Duke. He's going to the NBA, when like Colin Cowherd and Stephen A. Smith were like telling like Zion, the New Orleans Pelicans won the lottery. I just go back to school. Oh, would you? You'd forfeit $30 million
now?
You would? And Zion's stepdad, for whatever reason, came on our show.
Yeah, that was...
and said that he's going back to Duke, and on the ticker of the NBA Finals, off the bench in Baton Rouge, Zion Williamson's stepdad tells local radio that Zion is going back to school. I mean, that was the type of impact we were looking to have. We didn't know that it would turn into stuff like that, or the Dick Vitale interview, or having the local football coach on as regularly.
But whenever Zion's stepdad said that, like your eyes lit up like you had just gotten some portion of the lottery. It was a hell of a moment.
When the text came through.
When the text came
Remember when he
through.
texted me during the show?
Did he tell you he was going to announce it?
No, there was nothing.
But no, it was in the interview whenever he actually said,
Yes.
We're
That's when
going.
we started doing. We started standing up because that was the $1 million question.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody in the basketball world was sitting on the edge of their seat, wondering what Zion was feeling and what he was going to do now that New York did not win the lottery. It was really, that was the story. It wasn't that New Orleans had won. It was that New York had lost, because there was this big push, or thought to be push, of Zion getting to New York could really reestablish the Knicks and make New York a viable market within the NBA.
I was on Bourbon Street that weekend, and it was wild.
Yes.
The level of enthusiasm of that news, that was bizarre.
I say that to get to here. Max Kellerman is leaving First Take on ESPN's most recognizable and most paid for. I mean, I would say they spend the most money on First Take with the salary that Stephen A. Smith demands and the time slot, the 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., right in the middle of the day, programming that eats up. They are taking Max Kellerman and placing him on ESPN Radio's morning show nationally with Keyshawn Johnson. This is the second time this show has been changed in 1 year. In August of 2020 is when this show launched. They are now changing the lineup and the talent for the second time. Dan Le Batard has left ESPN Radio in that time slot, in that window, since that has happened, and has gone out on his own. What I'm implying and what I'm trying to get at is just how much media has changed in the last 5 years since Nathan and I were working together in local radio, where our goal and motivation every day was to bring programming into a 2-hour window that had to be influential, impactful, and newsworthy. Now there is now when you look at ESPN National's lineup, they've changed and overhauled this thing now numerous times within a calendar year. You can see the waves and the ways that the media landscape is changing directly in front of our eyes. Of that, television ratings are plummeting while streaming numbers are rocketing through the ceiling of interest, and people are creating their news or their news station on their own. A lot like what we've done here. A lot like what we've broken away from traditional media, gone out on our own, and now closing in on 7 months of doing this every single day and finding a lane into which we are establishing ourselves into the future of becoming a viable news source for people who are looking for this information. And not that this is easy. I think Nathan can attest to that. This is not easy to do, but it is much more accessible these days for people out there. If somebody has an interest in doing this and creating some type of side hustle or second job or another business or a secondary stream of income, or make it your primary gig, you can really do this out of your own house.
I feel like people want to listen to personality, and if you have that, then they would love to hear it for hours at a time, and you really can't get that on a 45-minute TV show.
Opinions and access, right? I mean, is that the formula? I think people want to know how you feel if you are passionate about it, or at least knowledgeable and passionate enough to attract a crowd to hear what you have to say. And then you have to have access to people within that industry that you can bring to the forefront. Nobody wants to sit here and listen to me bark into a microphone for so many hours or so many minutes and tell you what I think about sports. We're all sports fans here. There's a lot of you within this listening audience who know more about specific sports than I do. I mean, I'm not here to argue that. I'm not here to say that I'm the sports guy. But for whatever reason, I have an opinion that attracts people to come listen to, but I also want to give you what Mickey Joseph thinks about the wide receivers, what Austin Thomas thinks about the LSU football team, what Will Wade tells you about the basketball players and the basketball team. Those are the guys that you want to hear from, because those are the guys that I want to hear from. I mean, that's how we program this thing. We tell each other, and we used to say this on the radio show, and we say that in this room, if we're laughing, you're usually laughing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if we're entertained, you're usually entertained. And I saw this story of Kellerman leaving ESPN TVs, which would, ESPN got into, that's what they started as a television business. Leaving their most popular show to go on to the most popular, or argued most intriguing, interesting spot on their radio. Now, I know that Mike Greenberg does 10 to 2, which has always been the kind of that Le Batard, Colin Cowherd time slot where you put your superstars.
drive time.
But morning drive in radio is, I mean, that's Fifth Avenue, Michigan Avenue type real estate in radio. I mean, that is high rises, penthouses. That's the extreme. That's the high rent. That's the high rent village of radio. Is morning afternoon drive, or at least it was sold like that when people were in their car and moving around and shuffling throughout the day and listening to their dashboard and punching a dial up and getting there. I mean, I don't know if there's a car sold these days with a traditional dial. I think it's just nothing but a computer or a television screen that can sync with your apps. And hell, if you want to watch YouTube on that thing, you can just sit there and watch the Jordy Culotta show driving into work if you want to. I mean, it's that easy in some cars. It may not be in yours, but in 5 years, it will be.
Well, if it's not, then just turn your app on your phone and watch your phone while you drive.
Exactly.
I still got that. Well,
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Yeah, we're not advocating for it, but do whatever
It
you
sounds
want.
like we are.
Yeah, I
Watch
still
us
have,
while you're driving.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. I still have the cassette tape that I would put into and then plug into my phone. Then they took away the aux port, and so now I just have a gangster speaker in my car, so I can do Bluetooth that way because I just don't listen to terrestrial radio anymore.
I mean, think about how big of a deal and big of news it was when SVP and Rosillo broke up.
Broke my heart.
Broke my heart, too. But think about how big the industry, the news made it. Think how big of news it was when Mike and Mike busted up after 18 years together doing morning radio. This show has now been recreated twice within the same year, and it's not even headline news anymore. You don't even really pay attention that Max Kellerman is leaving First Take, which I know is, some people don't. It's a very polarizing show. You either love it or hate it, but a lot of people love it. I mean, that in a television world, a lot of people watch that type of format. I couldn't do it. I couldn't, be there every day and care about what that looks like or sounds like or feels like, but a lot of people do.
So is there drama behind him leaving or this move? Or
I don't know if there's any drama. I think that they want to find somebody that can debate with Stephen A. Smith. They want to find somebody that doesn't have a type of personality. Like, I don't really care about it. They need to find somebody that can spar.
They need a you.
Go back and forth. Yeah, but I mean, I'm, from
You're
a
busy.
national level, like people that care about national sport. Local stuff really gets me boiled. Like, they need to find somebody with a just a passion about almost arguing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you had to fill that
more than
position, is
else.
there a personality that kind of fits that bill that's kind of in another spot right now?
I was going to say they had the formula right. They're trying to recreate the Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. That was the
Yes.
formula.
Well, I mean,
when they would just both
behind the scenes, ESPN chunked a ton of cash at Skip Bayless in this offseason, and Fox upped his contract. I mean, Skip Bayless makes just stupid.
Nauseating.
Stephen A. Smith makes, just an exorbitant amount of money. I mean, he makes $6 million, $7 million a year to just sit there and give his opinion on sports. It's great work if you can find it. But I mean, that's who those companies are going after now. The Bob Lees of the world, the Chris Bermans of the world, the Stuart Scotts of the world, those types of journalists, guys that went to broadcast school to get into television reporting and bringing the news, now are not that as much sought after as a Stephen A. Smith or a Skip Bayless is. I mean, that's what is attracting numbers for, the television business is who I, in my opinion, feel very, not sorry for, but just, I look at and wonder, how do you survive? How do you survive in network television today if you're not bringing me the news or sports? And really, sports, because I'm getting my news on Twitter. I saw all of those I saw all of the Afghanistan images on Twitter before anywhere else.
Well, the amount of information that's on social media now, you can kind of come up with, you can make your own decision, and on network TV, especially for that type of stuff, you're kind of given an opinion, and I think it's a little meh. It's more fun to just kind of make your own conclusions because there's so much data being given to everyone through social media all the time. It's
well, that's
I think
also
part of the change.
That's also the poison of social media is everybody has an opinion. So you get on there. You went through the gambit with when you go viral and who are these people? Why?
I didn't realize I was such a piece of shit till that.
Yeah, exactly. Why do I everybody has a thought, and Twitter puts that in your hands where anybody can go viral at any moment. And then when that happens, you have people that want to go leech off of your virility almost, and you're just like, who are these people? How did this happen? Like Twitter is, it's a dodgy landscape to navigate.
It's a very sharp edge.
Yes.
Yeah.
A very sharp edge. I mean, it can cut you or save you.
Right.
And it could kill you or
make you or break you.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was that? Did y'all see that that documentary on Netflix? It was like The Social Dilemma, I think
Yes.
it was. That was weird.
Yes,
like
that was very strange.
It puts the worst side of it front and center.
It does.
I mean, there's a good side if you can, if you're a rational person, I feel like you can kind of make your way through the information, but like it's kind of poisonous.
There are a lot of irrational people.
Toxic.
And their feed is different than your feed, and that's all they see.
It's weird. It is weird.
Yeah.
Great to see you, buddy.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Everybody have a great weekend. It was a great week here on the Jordy Culotta Show. A lot of that because of you all out there. Thank you for your interaction. Thank you for sharing, liking, commenting, disliking, whatever the interaction was on the show. We appreciate that very much. Make sure and check out the gear online. You can find it all consolidated at jordyculottashow.com. Check out the new website there, Compliments of Nevadas. Go see GoFlow IV.
Maybe a little get together
over there
in the future.
Yes.
With the bunker.
We're working on it. We're working on a happy hour.
Yeah, don't want to break any news, but stick with us.
We will talk to you Monday morning. Have a great weekend. Go Chevrolet.
Go Tigers.